Tonight, I'm gonna have my
sweeties. Hello. Welcome in and good time zone to you. I hope you took a little candy on your way in and you're nice and comfy in the couch before we start. Thank you for joining us for the second part of our Brindlewood Bay Bake-Off one-shot. If you haven't checked out the first part, you can stay. You'll still be able to follow along with the story. And if you want to at a later point, you can watch the first part on YouTube or on Twitch. But since you're here with us now, get settled in. I will give you a little bit of content warnings in case you think this is just a wholesome series. There might be an occurrence of insects, of cosmic horror, violence, and elderly people getting in harm's way or getting hurt. If you can't handle that, think twice about following us right now. But otherwise than that, how about we continue telling a little story? And we have our camera open up on a view of the same television screen that we did last time. We are once again in this wide, fancy, expensive-looking manor with an elderly guy and his Dalmatians sitting on the couch. Once again, tuning in for the next episode, the continuation, because last time it did end on a cliffhanger, I'll have you know. Our camera zooms into the television screen until it takes up all of our view, and we are back with another episode of the Murder Maven Mysteries. We get a small recap of the last few minutes where our Mavens were last time we saw them. What we see is both Janice and Doris standing in this trailer from Paul Rivera, the judge who was found dead just a few moments ago. On the ground, flour on his face, hands tied behind his back. And we see them left in this trailer, maybe a little bit stunned, as they just had a conversation with Donna Rivera, his wife, who seemed a little bit neutral about the death, actually, as she walked out with a cigarette, leaving the two of them in the trailer. We also see a view of Ruth in the judge's tent, where she just brutally roasted Sue, who was kind enough to offer to be watch duty over Ruth, as Ruth almost put her oven ablaze. And then we also see what happened last, the cliffhanger of the last episode. We see the moment where Rosemary entered the judge's tent, took off her sunglasses, and boldly proclaimed, "Well, what did I actually miss?" As this is where we continue our story. So, Rosemary, you arrived fashionably late to the Bake-Off episode. You probably had some important things to take care of, or you actually planned it out. I'm curious if you did plan out to be fashionably late to make more of a shock factor on the episode, because you do know this is a one-episode thing. So if you want to leave your mark, you have only a limited amount of time to do it. So you have arrived on set now. And I am actually curious, what would have been the reason that Rosemary was late to the filming of this episode?
Because, look, darlings, I understand that I'm fashionably late. It's not a matter of, ill management or just falling asleep on the couch. No. I never intended to actually bake anything here at this bake-off. I have people I pay to do that for me. And I understand that if that is against the rules, it does not matter because you'll never know. So yes, I am late, but that is besides the point. Now, as I sip my wine, this is a cooking show, right? There is wine allowed. I know it is baking, but you always have to deglaze a pan or two.
You've walked in. I don't think they have wine on site to use for any of this stuff, but you've walked in with your glass and they haven't stopped
Look at
you.
Sue. You think she doesn't have a little wine stashed away in her trailer?
I think out of all the people, Donna would probably have some wine.
Sue, Donna, what's the difference?
So you indeed have walked in, and I think at the same time as the others, of course, you heard some ruckus going on, and Ruth, you are standing in the judge's tent, you can actually see this. You can probably be a moment earlier than the production crew, who are indeed, you see that they are going to send someone over to actually see who this person is and to help them. But you are a moment earlier than them, if you want to be.
Oh, Ruth.
Honey, you missed the pie contest.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not a fan of pie.
Whatever. More importantly,
I'm more of a
Weren't you
cheesecake
still
kind of
eating a
guy.
piece as well?
more importantly, a man has died.
Oh. Oh. Now,
Yes, that handsome older one with those steely blue eyes.
not Paul.
The very one.
Oh, good heavens. What?
Huh?
What am I going to do now? What am I going to put on when I go to bed? His sultry voice lullabies me to sleep. Oh, this is
Honey,
outrageous.
that is not what I am thinking about right now.
No, of course not, Ruth. Are you wearing rollers to a cooking show? You have to understand how unsanitary that is. What if one fell out into your batter?
What if one fell out into my batter? Honey, do you know what a batter is?
Absolutely not. No, I just assumed you make cakes and cookies with it. My personal chef cooks all of my baked goods. I actually brought one of his cheesecakes along with it. I do hope cheesecake is a category here. I'm not quite sure.
I mean, it's technically a pie, but they call it a cake. That doesn't matter right now. Look, the other two are off investigating. We're just running some distraction, which I'm sure you'll love.
Oh, I'm making quite a disruption in this tent. They're very upset with me being late.
They're not the only ones.
Well, I apologize.
As you do say that, you had your moment before one of the production crew indeed does arrive, and actually it's Heath who walks up. Heath is a middle-aged, a little bit more set man who is definitely balding, looks very stern, and Heath does walk up. He is, as Ruth would know, the production manager who runs everything. He walks up. Can I help you?
Can you help me?
Yes, you clearly you're allowed inside. Don't tell me you're the contestant that didn't show up.
I am, yes, Rosemary, and I was fashionably late, but do not worry about it. I will have a baked good for the finale.
I personally don't care much for a baked good that you have for the finale. I much rather would hear that you will make up for the time that we've had an empty island and tent, and you only will be in half of the episode.
Well, then, if I'm only in half the episode, then it makes that quite the full episode now that I'm here.
I love the spirit.
What do you want me to? Do you want me to pay? You want me to write you a check for $5.99 or something like that? What does it mean to you? I can't go back in time and fill the island. What was your name? Heath, like the candy bar.
Yeah, like the candy bar.
No, not like the candy bar.
Is it not spelled exactly the same?
I'm not aware of American candy bars.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I once found Doris gnawing on one with her dentures out. It was quite disgusting.
Nevertheless, if I can have your attention for a moment longer, that would be great. No, I am just saying, since you got a spot that a lot of people wanted and you're late for it now, I am expecting you to make up for it in entertainment value, let's say, in the last round.
Ruth, am I nothing but entertaining?
Oh, honey, you're anything but boring.
Is that worth your time and effort, Heath?
Perfect. I will see when you are on screen, miss. Until then, we'll get you a mic as well when we get started with the second round.
Okay, well.
Sadly enough, only one judge right now, but nothing to be done about that.
What do you mean by that?
An accident has happened to one of our judges. So they will not be in the second part of the episode.
What kind of accident?
Nothing, I'm sure, that concerns you, miss.
What was it, food poisoning? Did someone bake something rancid?
If it was food poisoning, then both judges would have it, so no, I can presume it was not. So you are safe, but indeed the episode will be going on with only one judge. Now, if you'll excuse me, I will leave you two ladies. I have a lot of work to do still.
I understand. As do I have to get baking.
Not yet. We'll call you when we actually start the round. You don't get to bake before the round starts. That's the whole point. We film you as you bake.
Isn't all of this fake anyway? Isn't it all edited in post-production?
No, I'll have you know that all of the baking is very much real. And you will bake at the same time, because then you can react to each other.
I understand.
Perfect. I will be on my way then, ladies. He turns around and he walks away.
If he was about 20 years younger, he might have piqued my interest. I'm not a fan of balding men. I can say that as a balding man, I can say that. But yes, Ruth.
So,
where are the other two?
They're off investigating in his trailer.
What do you know?
So, there's another young man here who another contestant who looks as though he is way too confident with some of the slop that he's called food. And well, let's see. There was. Oh! See that? You see that young woman over there? Her parents had that bake shop. She's here, but her oven was sabotaged, and none of us did it. No. And then let's see. This oven that they moved me to that was supposed to be yours. Well, there were floured handprints on the oven itself and a floured baking sheet inside, and I'd never seen anyone touch it yet. And I've been looking.
Interesting.
So I know you're gonna say, "Oh, that's not much."
No.
But,
Look, Ruth, I apologize that I was late, and I appreciate the catching up that we've done.
Oh, last thing. This production crew's a bunch of jerks.
Oh, I mean, if there's anything like that gentleman that just approached me, unannounced, I can only imagine.
Oh, exactly. And they're to our advantage. They are surely underestimating our talents.
We baking as a team, or are we against each other?
Honey, for the last time, we're supposed to bake during the timer while the cameras are on.
Yes, but
They ask for 6 pies, they get 6, not 1 that 4 of us made.
I guess I'll have to whip something up then.
Indeed. I tell you what, whatever you choose, you give Doris a run for her money.
Oh. I won't be baking myself. No, I'll just whip something up. I'll call it a pie. If I call it a pie, is it not a pie? What constitutes as a pie?
Well,
if I put a
bread-based crust that has a set filling, of course.
So if I just take a canister of vanilla frosting, I form it into about an inch layer, and I sprinkle breadcrumbs on top. Is that not a set filling with bread?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, strangely, that sounds exactly like what Doris decided to make. But, honey, look around. There's no canisters of frosting. You must make it your own.
She took my secret recipe.
Oh. Honey, that's not about as secret as well, that joke's we're not supposed to tell that joke no more.
I love to imagine that Doris, the only reason you made that is because you also said you scrambled and you didn't know what to make, and maybe accidentally, as you guys were prepping in the weeks before together, Rosemary at some point asked you to put her papers in your bag so you wouldn't forget, and then the papers were still in your bag all this time, and when you were scrambling to think what to make, you took out the papers of Rosemary. Was like, I don't remember putting this here, but good on past me for doing that. Do you actually believe?
Perfect substitution.
That's exactly how it happened. But also, Rosemary, you when you see the girl that was pointed out, the other contestant, Melanie, who is indeed a Brindlewood Bay resident, you would know that probably back when her parents' bakery, the Sweet Sensations Bakery, was still in business, it was a very good, solid bakery, very authentic. It was a little bit more on the pricey side, so that's hence why I think you would have known it, because you would have maybe gotten someone to get you some stuff from it now and then. You would definitely know that at least it's interesting enough that she is on a baking show now, and it has been a year, a little bit more or so, that her parents' bakery actually went out of business. And interestingly enough, now that you're here, now that you've heard about Paul's death, interestingly, it was maybe around the same time that the bakery went out of business as the time that Paul's bakery chain had a location opened in Brindlewood Bay.
Oh, that's awful. Wait, Ruth, is that... what was her name? Moni?
Melanie.
No. Melanie, yes, Melanie. Sweet Sensations. The family-owned bakery.
Exactly. Where it was.
Oh. They made such good cinnamon rolls.
We can agree on that.
And didn't Paul's little chain of bakeries open up around the same time?
I was a little bit later than them, but now you mention it.
What was it? Was it
was more than 10.
Paul's Pastries and Provisions? Was that what it was called?
Yeah. What a mouthful.
What a mouthful. And his
PPP for short.
His tarts are way too
Oh,
dry.
it is short.
Oh. Ruth, relax. Scandalous. But anyway, poor Melanie, I liked her. She was always very good behind the counter.
Yeah, now see, I'm
Well, that's a
over
motive
here.
if I've ever seen one.
I tell you what, I'm over here thinking that, the town turned over, but I never thought about that shop getting specifically turned over because of him moving in. That does make sense.
What can you tell me about the body? Or we can go find the other two ladies and...
I don't. They're out there looking right now.
Well, let's go
Speaking
find
about
them.
the other, the other two ladies, you were left standing in the trailer as Donna left you guys. You heard some voices, some louder voices in the judge's tent. Maybe if you had good enough hearing, which I leave totally up to your own discretion if you have it, you could have made out Rosemary's voice. If you don't have good hearing, then no. But
I feel like we
you were
sensed her
left.
presence as she.
As we're standing in the trailer, we smelled the rich mahogany and wine wafting through. So we were like,
a cold chill runs through our bodies, and
I think Rose is here, dearie.
I think you're right, Doris.
Something, I just feel it in my bones. At first I thought it was that Donna. My, what a prickly pear that one is.
Oh, well, we should probably finish up here because Rosemary will probably be pretty upset if we don't say hello to her soon.
Oh, yeah, well, she always makes it about her. I didn't say that. I didn't say it.
I didn't hear it.
Okay, good. All right, let's, okay, yep, he's still lying there. Good.
Yeah, he's still
I don't
dead.
see any footprint. Okay. You're not fuming from the mouth or anything. You're not foaming. There's no, okay, I don't think you were, okay, I think you're fine. Right, I think we should just leave like we were never here, although we were here, so maybe it's fine. And go.
And there's a
find that-
spat out Oreo on the ground still.
There's a spat out Oreo on the ground, and also there was evidence of poison, right, when we
Yeah.
investigated him last time.
Saw a trickle of blood, like I think you saw a trickle of blood, like right on the mouth.
Mhm.
I rolled terribly, so.
Well, I think we have our means. Now we just need to find motive, opportunity. You ready?
Of course. Yes, let's go see if Ruth found anything out. I'll go first, and then you follow shortly after. I guess we could just leave at the same time.
Yeah, we could leave together.
I'm just gonna open the door after
I-
you, Janice.
I would
Janice,
like to know.
Pets Mr. Miyagi as they leave.
No, Mr. Miyagi's not there. They're on guarding duty
Oh right.
on the kitchen island. They were left on guarding duty.
Mr. Miyagi's not here.
Yeah, no. They're doing a
I'm-
very
and I'm in
important job right
danger.
now.
Y'all, I rolled terribly and I'm in danger.
I would love to know in which specific order you guys go out.
We go out hand in hand together. We
Do you?
shuffle
Yeah,
through the
perfect.
door.
Perfect. Do you wanna squeeze through together at the exact same time? That also works.
I think it's probably like one right after the other. I would
It
assume
is,
because it'd be difficult. So I envisioned because I was the one that you were still investigating the body, so I'd probably be the first one out with you like following right behind me. Just based on the conversation with Doris and all that, or not Doris, with Donna.
Yeah, absolutely. So Doris is going out first. Janice, quick behind. But you halt. Because in front of you, as you just follow Doris outside of this door, a kitchen knife falls to the ground from somewhere above, directly between you and Doris. You stop in time. It doesn't hit you,
Doris.
but it clings in the ground right in front of your feet.
Doris, that almost took your nose off.
Oh my God! I just had some work done on it.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I'm not Rose. Oh my God! That was so scary.
Terrifying.
I'm just gonna like, okay, just grab my blouse. I'm gonna take a quick look. If someone's up there, just grab them, pull me back in.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. And I'm
Careful,
going.
careful, Doris.
I'm just gonna like peek out and see if someone's like sitting on top of the trailer, like waiting to pounce on me.
I immediately
You
yank her
don't-
back after a split second.
You didn't see anything because you were yanked back.
so aggressive. I haven't been. Never mind. Okay, I didn't see anything. I didn't get a chance, Janice. All right, you know what? We're both gonna just rush out together and turn and I don't know.
We gotta throw something.
The Oreos.
Oreos.
Grab the Oreos.
Grab the Oreos. We grab a handful of Oreos. I grab the bowl also, and as we run out to go look, the plan is run through the doorway, turn, throw.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready?
So you wanna?
I'm ready.
So you wanna throw the entire bowl of Oreos up?
I grabbed a handful, so I'm like the shotgun, and he's like the punch, or Janice is like the punch. So I'm just gonna like chuck a handful of Oreos that way, and then I think she's gonna throw the whole jar.
Yeah, I was about to say you both rush out at the same time as you said to me. So if one of you throws a handful, the other one is still, I assume, throwing the bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would love to have Bijan, you can roll me a day move, and you can add your vitality to that because you're trying to hoist an entire bowl of Oreos above your head to throw it up.
I'm gonna argue that she should get advantage because I lightened it by grabbing some of the Oreos. No, I was kidding.
I rolled a 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You roll a 7. Okay. As you move out, you rush, and as happens sometimes in movies, time slows for a second, and we see 2 options of text appear above Janice's head. And one of them says, throw the bowl, and one of them says, drop the bowl. And we see you choose the one option of throwing the bowl. We see you raising both of your hands in this slow-timed event, and the bowl just not getting up there and falling straight down on Doris next to you. You have a choice. But you have a choice as we rewind a little bit. You have a choice to make. It might still hit someone if they're up there waiting for you. But it will also hit Doris. Or you can decide to drop the bowl.
I mean, would I? I mean, I think, I don't think I'm thinking in this moment. I think I run and throw, hopefully it hits the right target, and I hope I don't hurt Doris too much, but I don't think it's a matter of thinking, right? We had a plan. Run, throw. That's the plan. I did the plan.
Okay. Okay. Then you continue with your plan. You choose to throw it instead of dropping it. And indeed, the bowl goes up a little bit. And then you see it almost immediately go down, shift, and Doris, it lands right on top of you. You are pushed onto the ground as this bowl just hits you. It doesn't shatter, luckily enough, but it is a heavy blow. I would like for you, Doris, to take the
Doris,
condition the condition of bad ankle.
Oh no.
Oh my god, Doris, I'm so sorry. Did we get him?
Oh, I think he's behind me. Oh god, it came out of nowhere. Oh, I think I twisted my ankle or something. Oh, I can't. Oh god, did you get him? I couldn't see.
I don't know. I've got first aid, and Janice is gonna pull out like bandages and all sorts. She's got all sorts of first aid equipment.
I love to imagine that this is also, as this is happening, this is how Ruth and Rosemary, how you spot the other two laying on the ground in front of this trailer outside of a little bit away of the judge's tent.
Oh,
Goodness
it hurts. Okay. Oh, Janice, help me up.
Yeah,
Help
of
me
course,
up.
of course. Doris, I'm so sorry.
Okay. Why
He's
are you
standing
apologizing?
judgingly looking down at the both of you with her wine glass.
Okay, but we found another clue, Doris. We did.
Why are you apologizing, Janice?
No.
I knew you two
Reason.
were close, but I didn't realize it had gone this far.
Oh, look who decided to show up.
Oh, you're
hello,
here.
Doris.
Hi.
Oh, hello, Janice.
Hello, Rose. We thought you might be here. Fashionably late. Or lately on time, I suppose. Ah, my ankle.
What happened?
Oh, I was assaulted. I was attacked. Mavens. There is more afoot than just a murder. Rosemary, there is a murder.
I heard. Ruth told me.
Yes, it was Paul Riviera.
Oh, every time I hear about it, it makes me so sad. Where is he?
Poor man.
Oh, he's inside his trailer, but he's not much of a talker. We went in. Me and Janice. Well, hold me, Janice, hold me.
Of course, Doris.
We went in. And there was Paul. He was laying face down. He had flour all over his face, everywhere. I mean, it was like, my gosh, it was like Scarface. I mean, it was like cocaine, but it was just flour. It was everywhere.
Little bit
I
of
missed
blood coming out
I
of his
miss the
mouth.
70s.
What blood?
There was blood coming out of his mouth.
Oh, right. We think maybe he was poisoned. Poisoned.
Very appropriate for a
Poisoned.
cooking show, right? That would definitely be in a Delacourt novel.
Oh, absolutely.
You're not
A
wrong.
baker's dozen?
Doris,
Exactly.
you've done it again.
And then, as we came out,
Yes.
I charged first. And as we were stepping out, someone assaulted me. They threw a knife at me as if it came from the heavens above. It almost struck me. It almost hit my nose. And then we looked, and then we came up with a plan, and we burst out, and we threw and assaulted the assailant. And then I was hit from behind with
And
some
something happened and no one knows, and then Doris went down. And
I was hit with a jar. He just looks at Janice. What? Did you?
Doris,
It's right there, Janice. It's literally right next to the knife on the
Okay.
ground where I fell.
I'm real sorry, Doris. That was
Did
that
you
was
throw the knife at me?
No, Doris, I was behind you when the knife fell.
Oh, yeah, that's
You-
true. Fair,
You
fair
could have thrown it up as you walked out of the door.
enough.
Rosemary,
I'm just saying.
I love that you're coming up with thinking outside of the box in these theories, but really, me?
Well, if anyone's here with a theory, Janice, it's you.
That is fair. Janice throwing knives. I know she's a bit of a... I know you're a bit of a wild thinker, but throwing knives in the air isn't your style.
Look, is there, speaking of it, and I'm just gonna I would kneel down and look at it, but my ankle hurts a little bit. Would one of you just look and see if there's any flour on the handle of that knife, maybe?
Good
Maybe
point.
it's connected to the body.
Well,
Flour all over him.
ladies,
everywhere.
if knives are falling from the sky, why don't we relocate to a safer location?
Oh wait, well we should probably look at the knife first, though, right? I mean, it's
You
right
can pick
there.
up the knife out of the mud or
It's-
ground.
It's evidence.
Yes, pick it up.
Okay, on this ankle? Oh, look, it's a cankle now.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'll grab it.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you, Ruth.
guess we
Do I
should
see any
expect
flour
Rose
as I
not
go
to do
for this
anything
knife?
herself.
The knife is clean. Doesn't have any flour on it.
Rosemary will look up. Is there any place for someone to have where would this have dropped from, essentially?
Very smart question indeed. You look up and you indeed see that there is a little piece of string that is now loose. And apparently a little contraption was made so that it would fall once the string on the ground was pulled and someone stepped on it. It doesn't look very professional, but it is a quick way that someone basically hung up this knife to fall for the first person who was going to leave this trailer or enter it.
Mavens. A booby trap.
Well, that's very strange. I mean, it wasn't there when we came in.
It was not.
I think I tried to mess with the tape to hide that we were going in, and I think maybe I dawdled a little too long, ladies. Maybe someone witnessed me going in.
Well, we know someone who knew we were in here and who left before we did.
Donna,
Dominic.
the wife.
The wife.
Who, by the way, prickly pear that one, doesn't seem too upset that her late husband is dead.
Oh,
Apparently,
yes.
they were sleeping
Donna.
around with everyone.
You know, I thought Paul was a reptilian, but clearly if he died like this, he's not. But maybe he's actually one of the Greys? Because, you know, they're known to not really have a lot of emotions. You know, they're very reserved. So maybe that's
Sorry.
what we're dealing
What's
with.
what's a gray?
Rosemary, you need to listen when I speak. I talk about this all the time. The
And-
Greys are one of the alien occupiers that are visiting us on this planet.
Oh.
The Greys, the reptilians, oh gosh, I forgot.
Janice, I don't mean to sound like I know more than you in this, because I clearly don't. But if it was me and one of them was sleeping around and very charismatic like Paul was, sleeping with, by the way, Scott, the other contestant that was supposed to be from Brindlewood Bay but isn't, but also is here randomly, who's an ex of Paul that was sleeping around that Donna was not really that caring about. But Donna might be the one that's the gray, because she didn't have any emotion. She was just kind
None.
of there.
Cold.
Mm. Oh, and apparently he had a huge
Presence.
presence. Paul did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know firsthand, but that's the gossip.
Maybe I should observe the body. Maybe you've missed something.
I don't think so, Rose. We were very thorough.
Yeah, Rose, we checked that pretty thoroughly.
I mean, you could have checked the body out if you were here on time. Why were you late, by the way?
Do you think looking this good comes easy, Doris? I was getting my hair done by Javier.
Oh, I really need to visit him. You keep telling me that I should go there and do something with this, but you know.
It is looking rather nesty.
Thank you. What a compliment.
You could also totally be having this conversation as you check out the body, Rosemary. Just saying, you know.
I trust the two ladies that have already checked him out.
I wouldn't go back in there. Someone might lay a booby trap.
It was very dangerous the first time.
Right.
Well,
so
Doris,
Janice,
I'm so
are
Maven.
you
sorry.
okay? Your hair seems to be flopping around.
This is the moment we found out Janice is actually wearing a wig as a person.
Rosemary, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. I think maybe we should come together with all the knowledge we have, right? So that we can maybe ask some questions.
Okay,
Right.
well, so we have.
First off, where did this knife come from?
Actually, Ruth, you're the one asking it, but one thing you did notice is a missing kitchen knife as you were walking around the baking islands.
From
That
which
was a
station?
clue you found.
Oh shit, you're right.
And it was on the unused station as of right now. But please continue. You are going to get everything together to see what you wanted to do.
Okay. Oh well. Speaking of getting everything together, this knife, when they moved me to your station, first off, floury handprints all over the oven, a floured baking sheet, in the oven and a missing knife from the block that I think, ladies, has just been found.
Wow.
Interesting. This is definitely one of the chef knives to GM, right? This is one of the chef knives we're all using, so we can confirm this is from the station because it looks like identical to our knives, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And flowers.
And you said this is
all
coming
over
from
it.
the station that I was supposed to be at.
Exactly.
This is
Rosemary, maybe if you had been here, you could have prevented a murder if you had been at your station.
Let's not.
I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying. It seems
Okay.
like if someone had been at the station, they couldn't have taken the knife.
Or someone's
seems
trying to
quite
frame
similar.
Rosemary.
I was thinking the same thing, Doris. Oh my.
Would
Did
be
anyone
a
know that you were going to be late today?
Of course not. No, I decided this morning that I was going to be late.
Hmm.
I called up Javier and just said, "Do you have an opening?" And he said, "Absolutely, come on by."
Well, maybe they are trying to frame
Javier.
her. If they knew that she wasn't going to come, they wouldn't have framed her. It doesn't
True.
make sense. You weren't here.
Well, also,
Absolutely.
Melanie, that the one gal, her oven was cahoots.
Sweet
Someone
Sensations.
sabotaged
Yes,
it.
that Melanie, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Sweet
it was
girl.
Sabotage.
Sweet girl.
Yes,
But
we
why would
confirmed.
someone sabotage hers.
A red herring.
This reminds me of that section in Missing in Mississippi. You know, when Amanda's down there in the bayou, and we all thought it was that creepy old person that lived out. What was his name? Hank Deering or whatnot. He lived out in the
Yes.
bayou, and
Yes.
everything
With
pointed
his
in that
disgusting
direction.
overalls.
Oh, but it was the sister all along. Oh gosh, that was such
The
a good
sister
one.
who wanted that little bit of inheritance.
And it's always about the money.
Things people will do for a measly couple bucks.
Speaking of money, apparently, and this is, I don't know if I was the one that got this information, I don't remember, but making crazy amounts of demands contractually was Paul for the next season. Apparently, really wanted to get paid more, which, but also there's the other contestant, or not a contestant, the judge. Well, we also wouldn't, probably question the contestants, but maybe the other judge wasn't, happy not being in the limelight as much. Maybe they wanted to take something over.
That's Sue, correct?
No, Sue's the
Correct.
host. Isn't it?
No, Sue is. Oh, Sue is the
Jane.
host. Jane is the
the
Jane
host.
Leaf.
Jane
Leaf.
Yeah. She was quite rude to
Jane.
me last time. Apparently, she didn't like my whipped cream pie that I had made.
Oh,
Honey,
yes,
she's
I
not
heard
alone.
that you made.
You didn't like it either, Ruth? Did you try it?
It was whipped cream.
Yeah. And it had some berries in it.
Berries were
Yeah,
very
so
nice.
top
They were
to bottom,
arranged
so
very
much sugar.
lovely.
Yeah, it was.
All
it
I
was
know is I make
delicious.
something very similar, Doris.
Oh, really?
I wonder where you got the recipe.
We'll have to compare.
Rosemary, you haven't made anything. What do you mean?
You are right, Janice. It is all store bought. I go down to the Publix and I just buy one.
We
So my
can't
lovely
get swept up
mavens,
in competition.
you
Yes,
are
GM.
standing there. I would love to know
As we're
as
yapping.
as the camera gives us like another montage sped forward of at least half an hour later until you are all done with your conversations. As you finally decide this is the murder, it has to be solved. What is your plan of action?
You gotta figure out who's able to sneak in and out and get this kitchen knife and move those floury hands.
I
Setting
also.
up even a simple booby trap is not easy to do. You have to know situations of pulleys and levers and directional.
Oh, okay, Miss Engineer.
No, they didn't do a good job with it.
Oh no, it's abysmal, but still, it is a setup booby trap.
Thank
And here's the
goodness.
other thing that's bothering me. Why was Melanie's oven sabotaged?
Mm.
I think maybe we should see if there's anybody that has a problem with Melanie. maybe that might lead us in a different direction.
Because the person who did this obviously had to have access and has to be able to go wherever they please, whenever they please, including Paul's trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And be on the set before the show and recording is even taking place. They have to have access.
That probably rules out most of the contestants, but not 100%.
After Sweet Sensations was closed down,
Oh, yes.
do we know how Paul's bakery did in town? I admittedly never went.
Paul's Bakery?
Oh,
I mean,
the
it's an
tourists
upscale
ate it up.
chain bakery. It's very successful.
The tourism crowd liked it. Of course they did.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me, didn't hold a candle to the Blairs. Their
Cinnamon
pastries-
rolls, too dry. Paul's cinnamon rolls, too dry compared to Sweet Sensations.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
You
That's what they
know,
said.
The ooey gooiness in the center, the kind of the undercooked sweet syrup.
Ladies, we gotta do something.
Ruth, I am getting to the point.
Go ahead.
What if Melanie and Paul had issues with one another? He sabotaged her oven so she couldn't get a leg up back here in Brindlewood. Her winning this bake-off would put her in the limelight. He sabotages her oven.
That's a good point. I'm
She
sorry.
kills him.
If we can figure out how she done snuck away to do it.
Something feels fishy, though. I mean, this feels very premeditated, and killing Paul in a crime of passion after he sabotaged her station doesn't seem like it connects all the dots.
Well, you said he was poisoned. Was there anything else on his body?
Flour.
Lots of flour.
Flour.
Just like the oven, the handles and the thing that Ruth was talking about.
Was it like a gratuitous amount of flour?
Like Scarface.
So it was.
Yeah, like Scarface.
Again, I missed the 70s.
They don't miss you.
My nose doesn't either, but that's besides the point.
Rosemary.
We all have our vices.
Mm.
So it was sending a message, the flour.
Maybe.
It was symbolic.
You think the killer wanted a message to be heard, or
Seen.
I think that the more we talk about it, I think that they were trying to throw blame on you, Rosemary, the only contestant who doesn't show up. A murder, flowers on your station magically. There's a knife missing from your station magically, and then both end up at the scene of the crime, flour conveniently all over their face. It seems like, although they might not specifically be targeting you, dearie, they might just be saying, hey, the person who didn't show up conveniently wasn't here and now someone's dead.
I think you're
While-
onto something, Doris. Because something wasn't sitting right with me about Melanie's station. Why did that happen? Sure, maybe it's just Paul Riviera engaging in some feud with his family, but why would he care? He already won. Their bakery's closed, right? But when Rosemary didn't show up this morning, the killer was probably very panicked. And they probably thought, oh no, my plan to frame this on one of the contestants, it's not gonna work. They didn't show up. They can't have done it. So what did they do? They sabotaged Melanie's station to give a motive to Melanie and frame her for the murder.
Lots of friends.
Janice, you are.
They tried to frame Rosemary, but when she didn't show up, they switched their target to Melanie.
Or they were trying to frame Melanie first because technically that happened first. Right? because that was already done, and then the other station. I mean, I don't know.
Well, we don't know. All we know is that somebody needed to have access to the equipment, which is that same person would have needed access to get to Rosemary's Station before anybody would have.
Coincidentally, as you say that, Janice, as you're explaining it, your eyes lock on Buck, who's walking towards his camera again. The cameraman would have access to all of this.
Interesting. Forgot their cameras.
I think this is all well and nice, and Janice, I think you're on to something, but we need proof.
And
We gotta
also,
go get it, ladies.
trying to frame me, I have flawless, rock-hard alibis.
No, I get it, but look at you, honey. You're a walking femme fatale out of any goddamn
Oh.
novel. We gotta go
Ruth,
get some
you're
proof.
You're too kind. Oh.
I want to know how hard that proof is.
What was that?
I want to know how hard that proof is. Anyway, perhaps
Doris,
Oh, yes, Rose.
do you really think that I would kill Paul?
No.
Poison?
I was talking about Javier's hands. If I have to spell it out for you.
Javi, yes.
But also,
Rock hard.
Rosemary Poison does seem exactly like the kind of thing you would do, actually. That's
No, I
very-
think Rosemary would just stab a bitch.
I plead the fifth.
But I think, excuse me, I really need to get this hair done. Janice, I think you're onto something. I think you mentioned the cameraman. One of you spoke to the cameraman briefly, right?
His
Have a
name is
rapport?
Buck.
Buck. Oh, God, what a name. I think, what if maybe look at the camera equipment if it's been freshly cleaned, or maybe there's some flour or something on it, right? Maybe helps tie things together. I'm not much of a talker. I know some of us are and some of us aren't.
Honey,
That's
I
fine.
got this.
Okay, I'm just
I
saying that could
got
be an avenue.
I got it. I'll go talk to Mr. Buck, and I don't know. We gotta figure something else out too. I don't know. Go talk to someone else.
I think Rose. I think you'd have a great conversation with Donna. I would pay money for that conversation.
Oh, that would be something.
And then we can go speak to, I don't know, maybe the ex, Scott. Maybe one of us could speak to him, and then someone could speak maybe to the crew, or maybe one of the hosts, etc. And just kind of divide and conquer, and then come back and see what we pull. And if you need any help or aid, if anything should happen, just yell meow as loud as you can, and Mr. Meowgie will be there by your side.
I will
Meow.
not.
You brought your cat to a bake-off.
You see Mr.
You brought your
Miyagi
Sauvignon Blanc.
sprinting across the grass field towards Doris as she said meow.
Just like leaps up into my arms. Oh, beautiful. Look, hold
That-
on. And just places like this little monocle right on their like face. Look, he's helping. He's
Not only
he's
is that-
adorable.
Oh, I
Not
know,
only
he's
is
so
that
smart.
ridiculously unsanitary, I think it also breaks some food safety laws.
Well,
Don't worry about it. A cat hair was already found in a pie. That's already done and dusted.
yes. You brought your wine.
Wine is an everyday ingredient in cooking.
Oh,
Doris. You would know that if you weren't stealing recipes.
You can't keep this
Stealing
well-behaved boy away from Doris. And
Thank you,
Janice
Janice.
bends down to pet Mr. Miyagi, and her locket is dangling, and Mr. Miyagi starts like batting at it, and she's like, Miyagi, hand paws off of Bill. And she grabs her locket away.
Oh, now, Mr. Miyagi, okay? And I don't know what you're talking about with recipes, okay? I just planned ahead and prepared to show up ready to go on time as I did, okay? Unlike some of us. So how
We
about
see-
you go speak to Donna?
I'll go speak
We
to Donna.
see
That's fine.
Another a little bit of text appear on the screen as it says, and they continued talking for another 30 minutes. We fade to black, come back to another view. So, Rosemary, you're gonna go speak to Donna. Ruth, you're gonna try to find Buck, I believe, the cameraman.
Yes.
Janice, what are you, or Doris and Janice, are you both doing something separately, or are you both doing something together? Where are you going?
I'm gonna go check up on. Wasn't there another host, Timothy?
Timothy.
Timothy?
Yeah.
Timothy.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll go talk to the hosts. If either Tim Tam or Sue.
Okay. Perfect.
And, I'm gonna go to Scott. I mean, we're gonna divide and conquer. So I'm gonna go to the ex Scott.
All right. Perfect. You all leave your little huddle and start making your ways towards your victims. We will first follow Ruth. Ruth, it's easiest enough for you because the person you were trying to find is literally across a few meters and standing next to their camera equipment. You sidle up to them. They don't immediately notice you because they are working on their monitor. So you can approach this however you want to.
Take off an earring, put it in a pocket. Excuse me, young man. Mr. Buckman, was it?
He turns around. Oh, hi, yeah.
I'm wondering if you could assist me just for a few moments. Now, I seem to, in the heat of the oven, misplace an earring, and I wanted to see if there was a moment on camera in which that might have happened. If you could review some footage with me, dearie.
Oh, you want me to, have you had anyone check the ground yet around your island?
No, we had, and I'd done it very diligently. Sue was standing next to me for quite some time, giving a little assistance. But I'm just wondering if you could find a moment in which we could see this undangly earlobe.
Yeah, for sure. I could help you out. I could try to look at the footage that you were in, at least. It will take me a moment though, but I can definitely help
That's
you
fine.
out.
I got nowhere to be, and this all seems very impressive. I'm a pretty big fan of the show, if I can be so bold. You mind if I watch along?
I am also such a big fan of the show. He gets a little bit more of a somber expression. So, it's so tragic, The Jolly Good Baking Show was one of the few lights we had in this dark, and now, well, tell me another show that can bring people together like this, right? Young and old, rich and poor. It's something we can all agree on, and now that Paul is gone, it will never be the same. That light is just a little bit dimmer now.
Oh, honey, I agree.
Anyway, I'm sorry. It just makes me think, it's
There's nothing to apologize for, dear. It's fine.
such a shame.
I agree, and I want to look my best for this show. And as you can tell from the other side, matching always counts.
Yeah, but how about, and then he moves over and actually takes one of the little higher chairs that they have here to sit on. He actually takes another one so you can sit. And he's like, here. You can sit. You don't have to stand the entire time.
Oh, Mr. Buck, you are so kind. I'll sit down. Just so you know, outside of this, I was pretty fine at fishing, and I've been standing on boats a lot. So this ground right here, it's nothing for me, baby.
That's so impressive, actually. You're a very impressive lady. Miss...
You call me Ruth.
That's very impressive, Miss Ruth, actually. older women are always so impressive, so many things you've already done, such experience.
Everyone on this show likes to call me an underdog, but young man, you're meeting with a very fresh, kind wind of respect.
You can go ahead, roll me a meddling roll with presence, please. Now we'll see what you get.
7.
A 7. All right. You sit down with Buck, and he starts pushing on his monitor a little bit. It takes him a while to get actual footage on there from today. He has to look through it a little bit. And as he does, and you're waiting, he continues making a little bit of conversation and says, "Oh, well, it's both such a shame now. I actually saw Paul quite often. I kind of look up to him as well, and I think it's understandable. And especially since, I was trying to please his wife more than he could. I
Was that right?
really looked up to him and trying to do better, but I mean, who can do better? You can't compare two people, right?"
I think the wise phrase I heard a while is that comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah. I
Gotta
try
do what
not to
makes you
compare
happy.
myself with him, but have you looked at him? I don't have those steely blue eyes. I couldn't if I tried.
Oh, honey, you gotta work with what you got. Look
Huh.
at those arms.
I-
Look at you carrying cameras all day. You think you have biceps like that?
No, you're so kind, Lady Ruth. You're so kind. I mean, I'm very grateful. I wouldn't have gotten this job if it wasn't for Donna. So I'm very grateful, actually, and I'll continue to be grateful. I will. Yeah.
I think you can contribute a little bit more success to someone who's your own instead of others.
Oh, but I really like her, Miss Ruth. I think she's
Of course,
great.
Of course.
She's
Yeah,
also such
how's
an
she doing right
experienced
now?
woman. Her hands are very experienced. I mean, yeah,
Is that right?
she's amazing, Miss Ruth. And she
That's
got
good
me
to
this
know.
job. Oh,
Yeah,
here we go. We're on the footage.
Perfect. End dialogue. End dialogue. End dialogue.
Those hands. Oh, I can.
There I am, honey.
Yes. So you definitely see some footage of you actually baking and stuff, and clearly you having two earrings on. As he points out as well, he literally taps the monitor and he says, "It seems like you still have two earrings on here, Miss Ruth. But we can see in a few different clips if it is still the same."
Perfect.
He
And
starts.
I'm searching with
Yeah?
my fucking eyes as hard as I can for any shots that has anyone interacting with the unused station.
Yes. As he skips through pieces here, you try to see if anyone messes with Rosemary Station. You don't catch anyone messing with Rosemary Station. What you do catch at a certain point, he flips to a next piece of footage, and it's something that you didn't see happening while you were there. Whatever is playing on the screen is not something you witnessed while you were baking there. So, whatever this was, or when this was shot, it was a moment that you were not in. And in those outtakes that indeed weren't during the pie round, you do see. You don't see who is messing with the station. Can't make that out. However, you do see a puff of flour coming from that way. And you do see hands reaching to put what seems to be a pie round into that oven. You don't see who it is. But this is definitely something that happened. And you weren't there to witness it. So these outtakes are a clue that you found.
Well,
as it comes up though, he skips it pretty rapidly because it's not something you're in, and it's not something that will help with the egg rings, you know.
Right.
But yeah, he says, "I'm
Honey,
sorry."
it looks like I had it on the entire time, and I must have slipped it off somewhere else.
I'm so sorry, but we couldn't help you find them on the footage. I mean, we could try and look around a little bit more, maybe.
You know, I'll be on the eye, but you know, your production managers seemed very interested to continue, and I'm sure that they'll be asking for your skills quite soon enough. You don't got to do all that work for me.
I'm happy to, you know, but if you say I don't, I won't step over those boundaries. That's totally fine.
You've done quite enough, honey. We've scrubbed so much footage.
I appreciate the kind words, Miss Ruth.
Oh, it's so easy to speak the truth these days.
Here, let me, and he stands up from the seat and he holds out a hand to help you get off your seat.
Oh, kind of you, young man.
Absolutely no worries, Miss Ruth. If there is anything I can do for you, you can always ask.
Oh, Mr. Buck, I will let you know the moment I might need your assistance.
All right, take care. And he turns back to his monitor. Yeah. And you are left standing there, muttering to yourself, maybe, indeed, as you saw this footage. And wonder what the others found. We zoom away from you across this little botanical garden, and we follow Doris. You were going to try and find Scott, am I right?
Yes, dearie.
Yes. And then... Okay. Perfect. I took note of who is going to whom. You were trying to go find Scott. You find him around the judge's tent area, but specifically by the table where they put all of the pies from last round as well, and there are some refreshments there as well. You find Scott standing there, to again describe a younger man, twinky looking, with a shirt that has an actual bow tie printed on it. You see him standing with, holding a cup of some kind of beverage and chatting with about 2 people of the production crew, just making hand gestures and having idle conversation.
I'm gonna kind of like mosey my way up and just like kind of like pour myself like a little beverage too, and I just want to see like can I just like quickly hear like what they're talking about, since they're just standing at the table. I just want to kind of hear what they're discussing at the moment.
Absolutely, you can. And you just pour yourself a drink and stand there for a second, maybe trying to look confused around a little bit, as if you're buffering and trying to decide, or just looking around admiring the botanical gardens around you. He is actually laughing a little bit with 2 of the production crew, the assistants, and they are talking about the previous time he was on the show? You hear him laughing and saying, "Oh yes, I know. Last time was something indeed." It's quite funny that they asked me again, and they went through all of this trouble to get me on the stage again. I must be very entertaining if they do that. Actually, they got me an apartment here just so they could say that I'm a resident and they could get me on the show. That's so crazy. They're going through so many troubles to get me on again. And I mean, I get it. If you saw everything that happened last time, it got a little bit of rowdy and then it definitely got the views up. I know. It definitely did. So I think they were hoping for a round 2 of that, but rest in peace. It won't be happening now because he's not here anymore. But it did get the views up a little bit, but I imagined they were looking for scandal indeed.
Are you talking about our late judge host?
They all turned to look at you now. Yes, we were. We were indeed talking about him, actually.
Oh, right. And you've been on the show before, from what I hear. I don't think we've had the pleasure. Doris, dearie.
You're extending a hand?
Yes. I extend my hand like for him to kiss it. I'm like channeling my inner Rosemary in this moment.
He looks at your hand and he nods. Scott, we did indeed not get a chance to talk. And at that point, also the 2 production crew assistants that he was talking to kind of leave as they say, well, we gotta get back to our work. And he is left standing there just with you. No, we didn't get a chance to meet. Well, we did already compete together, though.
Of course.
Your pie was something. It was very innovative. That's for sure.
Right, and I remember your pie was something too. I mean, it was quite girthy.
Darling, I got it from good experience. That's for sure.
Quite.
Didn't hear that from me though.
Oh, but I just did. You and Paul, you were like a thing for a bit, yes? That's what all the tabloids say.
No, we weren't.
No, we weren't. Oh.
No.
Well, by looking at that cake, I would say you were something.
Yes, well, the something I was thrown off the show because of Paul and last time. So, that's for sure.
Dearie, I am so sorry. I was misinformed. You were thrown off the show. Why were you thrown off the show? You have such talent.
Go ahead and give me a meddling roll with presence, please.
Presence. Come on, baby. Roll well. Ooh, baby. 10.
Hell yeah. You, continue the conversation. Well, I suppose it doesn't hurt now because he's not here anymore. But we had some heated arguments, and they were caught on camera, and the only way he thought to fix it was to get me sent home. He couldn't deal with it, I suppose, having me there while, yes, we did have some dilly-dallying in bed, and it was all fine, and that he has a very firm ass, I will say. It's lovely.
Oh.
It was lovely, actually. Oof. But yes, and that, because he couldn't keep it professional, that got me thrown off the show last time. And I suppose that they were hoping for a round 2 this time around.
And you mean like the proverbial we, or I mean, because he was married, right? Have you ever met Donna?
Yes, but I never told her anything, and I kept it quiet as much as I could. I mean, Paul had an image and all of that, whatever. He had an image he wanted to preserve, and well, I tried as long as he was nice to me as well. But when things started going down, I didn't care either.
So what made you decide to come back for this show then?
Well, they
you had
invited
such
me.
a horrible experience. I mean, sure, but why would you want to come back and withstand all of that?
Oh, darling, it's publicity in one way or the other. I mean, if something happens, it makes a tablet, and it gets me attention, and it gets me some opportunities. And I suppose I get paid well enough if I make a little bit of drama on the show, so it's a good opportunity. If they one day gave it to me, I wasn't going to say no. I know they desperately probably needed more income and more popularity for the show with the whole it being possibly not renewed, so...
Oh, right. I heard something about that. No contract negotiations and all of that, right?
I don't know about that. I'm so sorry.
Oh, well,
But-
you just mentioned that it wasn't going to be renewed.
Well, possibly it was in the air. I know that Paul was all up in his fifis about it, possibly being... I mean, if it's up for renewal, it's always a chance that it doesn't get renewed with a show like this. Especially indeed if people are doing whatever they want to.
Right, back when you were, talking, and now you're obviously not.
Yes, indeed. Suffice to say, I was looking forward to seeing him again, and maybe indeed just showing a little bit and hitting his nerves.
Is that what the
I mean,
cupcake was for?
I mean, yes, he got me thrown off the show very early last time. I didn't appreciate it, and especially not after our relation together, There was no reason for it, but he decided to anyway, so I might as well pay him back, right?
Oh, of course. What was your plan for the finale? I mean, I guess we're still recording, so you don't have to say anything. I mean, let's be honest, dearie, I'm not winning this thing, okay? We all saw the disaster. That was my cake. Thank God it wasn't actually my recipe.
As lovely as you are, I'm going to keep some of the secrets to myself because this is indeed a competition, and it is supposed to be entertaining. It wouldn't do good if I gave away all of my secrets, now would it?
Oh, okay.
But I guess if you were also wanting to make the show a little bit more interesting, that's something I found strolling around here. That's a little bit spicy.
Oh, please, go ahead. Tell me. Can I get another drink? Here, let me get you a refill. I'm just gonna pour a refill and then hand it back to him. Please go on. I'm so intrigued. Our little secret.
He takes out a letter. And it's in an envelope, so you can't quite see it. But he holds it up and he says, I heard that apparently the entire group or cast or whatever you want to call it of the Jolly Good Baking Show was invited to the Buckingham Palace to go dine, of all places. But the invitation was for one person too little. I don't know who they left out, but someone apparently wasn't invited. That would create some bad blood if it ever did.
Oh.
They had to make choices, probably. Or have to. Oh, well, now I guess they don't anymore because one of them is dead. But before that, they probably had to make choices and leave someone out. That must have hurt whoever it was.
Interesting. And that's the invitation?
It is. Don't ask
You
me
have
how
to
I
let me
got it.
see it. You have to let me see it. Please.
No, fine. Fine. But you will give it back to me. I can't just...
Of course.
He hands it out to you, and then you can open it.
Mhm.
It's indeed an invitation to actually go to Buckingham Palace on a visit. And it indeed, basically, the invitation doesn't account for everyone. So there's no names on it, but if the crew, like the main crew of the host and the at least like the production manager and then the judges and stuff would have been invited, maybe even, you don't know, maybe even his wife, there isn't enough space for everyone, and it's clear that someone indeed probably had to be left out, which could have caused some bad blood to happen, because not
And-
everyone could join.
Is it does the start of the letter, does it specifically name like Scott? Like, does it say him, or is it just say like, you are cordially invited? Like, is it like
Yes. It's indeed, it's not a named thing, it's indeed a you are blah 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 blah.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. Oh my. Wow.
And that is
you
a
were
clue.
given one of these. Okay. Well, bravo, Scott, and I'm excited to see what you do at the end of the competition. I might have a surprise or two up my sleeve still.
I love when things get juicy on these shows. And I mean, sure, Paul not being there will be juicy enough, but we can always add some more to it, can't we?
Just really quickly, I mean, I'm, shooting for strays. Just one final thing. I want to look at the letter. I want to look at him. I want to see if there's any kind of flower smudgings or anything, like, on his person, on his hands, like on the paper. Like, I'm just looking,
Yeah, and there is you can't see any flower on him
Okay.
as
fair
you
enough.
peruse him a little bit. Well,
Okay.
it was
It was lovely. I'm still holding the letter, and I'm just gonna oh, it was lovely to see you. I hope you have.
yes, you
fantastic
can
day.
give my invitation back now.
Oh, right. Sorry, this whole thing. My apologies. And I'm gonna.
Do you want to take it with? Is that your intention here?
Oh,
Would you want to?
I feel like I want to make it spicy. So I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Want to? You would want to. I can hear it. Okay,
yeah.
absolutely. Roll me a day move and add your composure to it, because you're
There you
trying to stay cool as you try to steal this invite.
Oh.
Repeat that.
A 10.
A 10. All right. And with that, you start saying, "Oh, it was nice talking to you and stuff, and we should talk again." And he's so also just enjoying this conversation that he says, "Yeah, absolutely. We'll see each other for the next round and stuff. I have some chatting to do anyway."
Just because if I could add a little flair to that, as I'm trying to just pawn this and walk away, I just be like, "Yes, you're quite the fatale of the show, I would say. I mean, you got a cat's grace. I mean, meow." And I say it kind of loudly, and as I do, Mr. Miyagi comes darting and jumps on his chest, spilling the drink that he has all over his white pristine shirt. And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, there's a cat! Oh!" And I just kind of start to go away as he causes a distraction, as I just kind of waddle away with the letter. Oh,
Yes,
there's a beast!
absolutely. I love that. I love that. And with that, as you walk away, you run away, we do see, as the camera zooms in a little bit, we see the invitation in tucked in beneath your shirt in the back, as you manage to get away with it. We move past you again, leave you walking there for a second, as we go across the field to try and find Rosemary. Rosemary, you were basically set upon the task to talk with Donna. You have no
Yeah.
reason for this yourself, but everyone was saying you should talk to Donna. So that is what you're trying to do. You have not seen Donna before. So it's a little bit of a guessing game. As you make your way
Oh, no, it's not a
across-
guessing game. Rosemary has no shame. She'd be like, do you know where Donna is? I'm looking for Donna. Donna, what did they say her last name was? Don't tell me. Let me see if I could remember.
like
Donna
the wife?
Donna Riviera, Paul's wife, Donna Riviera. Have you seen her? I'm looking for her.
You people do manage to point you in the direction of where they last saw her, until indeed you see her basically standing outside of the judge's tent, or actually sitting down for a moment on one of the chairs. She had her own chair that was put next to where they record, so she could sit there and watch the show basically, but not be on screen for it. And she has her own chair there with her name on it. So she is sitting on that. She's smoking a cigarette. And she, again, to describe, she has this leopard print two-piece on and is completely bottle blonde, like teased up hair a little bit. Lots of makeup on her face. A little bit older lady, but not in your age category yet. She's sitting there, taking a smoke and just watching for a second in thought. And for your reference, there are other chairs like that next to her as well, if you were to want to at some point take up someone else's space and sit down.
Oh, without a doubt. Rosemary would sit right next to her. You must be Donna.
And indeed I am, and who are you?
Rosemary. The missing contestant.
Oh, the one who probably missed and wants to show up with a flare now. That's a good tactic.
It's worked for me over the years. What is
You've
that?
been in showbiz before.
No, God, no. It just works that way in life sometimes. Making flares, as you say. Do you mind? I see you. This must be the smoking section.
Oh, absolutely. You can sit here. I'm sure that Danny over here doesn't need this chair at this moment anyway. Much better company to have it.
Oh, you're too kind. Rosemary will take
I'm
out a
not.
cigarette. Oh, well, good. Neither am I. She will put it in her mouth and she will light her cigarette and she will... I'm sorry to hear about Paul.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh. Trouble in paradise?
I mean, marriage gets boring at a certain point, doesn't it? I don't know if you are married or have been.
3 times, darling, 3 times.
Oh, there you go. There you see. We were reaching the end of our first time, I presume. Well, we've reached the end of our first time now.
He was quite the looker, though, wasn't he?
Oh, he had the greatest eyes. And his eyes were lovely as well, you know, for the times that I saw it. And he wasn't bent the other way, but he
You
was
could
a
say
looker.
He had a couple of cakes on him.
Oh, he knew how to bake cakes, for sure.
Mm.
No soggy bottoms in his cakes. But oh well, it's no more. It's not a big loss. Again, it kind of loses its sparkle at a certain point. You want to find new things, it gets boring a little bit. I already found a new thing, so it's not like I'm missing a whole lot. I mean, the only difference between our parting now is that he's dead instead of us being divorced. Which might actually be better for me inheritance-wise, if I think about it.
Did you sign a prenup?
Excuse me?
Did you sign a prenup?
Yes, we did.
Well, who has more money? Was it his prenup or yours?
A personal question to ask.
I'm quite the personal person. We're just two
I
ladies
mean-
here having a conversation.
I've
Been through the ringer before, Donna. It's nothing new. Oh, Adam's cat! You're scratching on the couch.
Begrudgingly enough.
Meowgy.
Meowky. Begrudgingly enough, this whole baking show got him way more fame than I ever did with the Real Housewives of Liverpool. So, yes, I presume he had a little bit more to his name, I suppose. Ugh, men.
Tell me about it. But I don't know what you signed, but generally there is a death clause in there. I'm sure you'll get something.
I'm very sure I'll get more now than I would if we divorced. So it's actually such a bad circumstance for me. Oh. I'm a wife in
So-
mourning.
Seems his death was quite personal.
Personal. I mean, anytime I suppose someone dies, it's quite personal.
Yes, but the amount of flour in his trailer. More like a personal message.
Suppose you could put it that way. Why would you say that?
I mean, look, I'm no coroner, but the ladies and I were talking, the gossip queens we are. They think he was poisoned. Why send a more powerful message of showering him in flour after he's already dead, if not to send a message?
Is this your interest in looking into a death that happens on set?
A bit of a hobby, if I may admit.
That's a gruesome one. Phew.
We all
Ever
have our
talked to a
vices.
therapist?
Absolutely not. No, dreary things.
Good. Indeed, takes way too much money. Honestly, gold diggers, all the lot of them.
And what good do they do? They say, "Oh, how do you feel? How does that make you feel? How would this make you feel
Exactly. It
better?"
doesn't help me to talk about it. It just helps to find another escape, honestly.
And there's another $250 per hour gone down the drain that I could spend on Cab Sauv.
Oh, I could take a lovely trip with that, actually. Yes. Which, why don't you go ahead and give me a meddling roll with presents, please?
Absolutely.
This is everything I wanted.
10.
Nice number.
And
Which
just before you roll 2 dice and then you add any of the numbers in your abilities, correct?
Yeah, you do. Great
Perfect,
math.
yeah. Yep. So I rolled a 5 and a 4 and then +1 because I have 1 in presence.
Yes.
Perfect.
Which, I mean, I suppose I won't have to spend the money on this anymore. And she, excuse me, she reaches down and into her blouse and picks out 2 tickets. And they seem to be plane tickets, actually. Plane tickets to, they're both on Paul's name, but plane tickets to a nice and hot place for not too long after this date, actually. Maybe in about a week's time or so. 2 tickets. She takes them out. I mean, I didn't see the hurt. He wasn't going to use them anyway now. I'm sure I could explain that I want to take them as his wife.
I mean, as long as
Don't
you have
know
a
who's-
as long as you have a death certificate, you can do practically whatever you want with it.
Oh, perfect. I don't know who he was going to take, though. I mean, I suppose if I'm dilly-dallying around, he was as well.
Diddly-daddling. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that parlance.
Playing around.
Oh.
Finding
I see.
someone else.
I understand, dear, yes.
Okay. You
But
Americans.
Why wouldn't he take you?
I mean, our marriage wasn't the happiest anymore at the end, I suppose. He also tried to find other ends.
Is that a euphemism
I can't
for
blame
something?
him for it. I can begrudge him for it.
Enough to kill him?
Oh. I mean, darling, I can't believe someone would kill him. Like, mind you, he was always indeed doing my head in, and if anyone had a reason to sack him off, it's me, but I didn't do it. So...
I strangely trust you. I believe you.
You should definitely check out some of the TV shows I've been in. I'm sure you would absolutely enjoy them. I take the shit out of so many other ladies on it.
You said these Housewives of Liverpool.
Yes, indeed.
I'll have to
I
have...
have
I'll
one on
have to have
DVD if
the...
you...
Oh, you have a DVD?
Oh, I always bring them with me.
Oh, I would...
She reaches down.
The first or second husband, he brought home one of those DVD VHS combinations. I haven't touched it in some time, but I do remember how to use it.
She reaches down and she has one of those like bigger purses and actually takes out a DVD in a little plastic casing of... It's not even an official one, as in like with a print on it. It's just a clear plastic casing with a DVD in it. And she takes out a marker, like takes the tip off, and then signs it basically as she hands it over to you. And she says,
Oh.
I am so looking forward to seeing your reactions once you've watched it. Although I don't suppose I will, because I'll be gone from here by then. Maybe even to this, and she waves the plane tickets.
Do you have an email or a phone number? I quite like you. We should
Oh
keep in
yes,
touch.
you can contact my manager.
A manager? And how will I do that?
On the same DVD, she writes down an email address. She says, that's the email of my manager. You can contact him, I suppose, once we're done here. Well, the pleasure was all yours, I'm sure, but I need to powder up a little bit before... Well, I'm sure you have to continue recording in a little bit.
I believe we're supposed to start in just an hour or so, but I mean... I don't need to powder up. I think I look fantastic.
I'm sure you think so. Anyway, ciao ciao.
Before you leave,
Gee.
wine. Can I interest you in some? Are you just a partaker of the nicotine tobacco, or can I also interest you in a little rich red?
Which one is it?
Which wine?
Yes, which one is it?
She opens her bag and pulls out a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. I have these delivered from Napa. I buy cases at the time.
I suppose one glass wouldn't hurt.
It's 2017, a particularly rich year in Napa.
She just nods. You have the feeling that she doesn't know anything about this. And she accepts a glass. She stays with you a little bit longer. And we do leave you there as the conversation slowly fades out. We hear less and less of it. And I think that is a perfect moment for us to take a little break, wouldn't you say, Crannies? Go stretch the legs a little bit, get some water in there, get another snack, and we will be back in a few minutes. So please
Okay.
stick by, and until then, enjoy.
See you in a minute, dearies.
Hello, dearies. Thank you for being back with us after a little break we had. So, going back into it, the scene that we focus our camera on is for one last time we swivel away from the conversation that Rosemary was having with Donna. And we turn away from the big judge's tent towards one of the trailers, one that we haven't seen so far. But we do see Janice walking up to it as you were going to go and try and fight Timothy. And Timothy has a trailer of his own at this place because he is one of the hosts, and both of the judges and both of the hosts have their own trailers here. You are making your way over there, and when you get there, you knock on the door.
Mm-hmm.
You already hear music coming from inside. You hear that The Cure is playing on stereo inside of this trailer.
The Cure. What kind of song?
Damn, you tell me. Actually,
What song is it?
Well, is it upbeat? Does it sound melancholy? Does it sound, is he
It's
rocking out in there?
melancholic.
Okay.
No, it's definitely melancholic.
Hmm. Yeah, I would just knock on the door.
Tell me, no. You don't get out of this easily. Tell me which song is playing.
I don't know the Cure's catalog. I wanted to know if it was like I wanted to know if he was like jamming out in there or if he was listening to something sad.
Okay. Well, established it's melancholic then. That makes two of us that don't actually know The Cure. You knock on the door and you hear an enter.
Yes, I am.
You can come in.
Oh, okay. You were saying that. All right, dear. I'm coming in now. She walks in.
In this trailer, it's a little bit darker than the one that Paul had, and that is because the curtains are all drawn shut. You can see as you enter into the little hallway, there are blacklight posters, and you can see a strange artifact almost in a way, but probably gotten from some antique shop that didn't mean anything, or a crystal shop. You can see like an obelisk in one corner and just some various like weird put together interior choices here. I'll ask you ask everyone here to add one thing what do we see in Timothy's trailer that suggests that he is a deeply lonely person? I would like all of you to add a little detail of interior to this trailer.
I think the shades are drawn, and he has got not one, not two, but 3 puzzles in progress on different tables that he is working on.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely.
I think the trash bin has the volume has exceeded the normal level, but there's sheets of paper that have made it so that it can exceed its normal level, and so it's just egregiously stacked up.
Perfect. What else do we see?
I think there's in the probably like in the corner, there's a miniature bookshelf with a bunch of confidence books and dating books and self-help books that are all there, but none of them have been read. It's dusty, they've just been kind of sitting there, and it's that buy of oh, I need to buy this, it's gonna help me, but then never actually reads it. And so there's just all these different kind of dating advice, self-help, be the charismatic you need to be type of books, just all in this little shelf in the corner.
And last but not least, he as you enter the trailer, you kind of look around. He has so many black clothes that they don't fit in his designated closet anymore. They just take up the spot on the bed, and he just kind of squeezes onto the bed next to all of his dark clothes to sleep, because that's where he needs to store them.
Yep. We enter this trailer with you, Janice, as you go and open up the door, walk through this little hallway into the seating area, the main area of this trailer. Again, we see Timothy, a weirdly large, kind of gothy-looking younger man. And he is sitting on the table, or at the table, doing one of these puzzles as you enter. He looks up, he stops. Oh, hi, miss. I didn't know. Janice, okay, cool. Why are you in my trailer?
Oh, I just wanted to see how you were doing. You holding up okay?
Yeah. Why shouldn't I be?
Oh, well, the murder. One of the,
Oh, that's just
stars of the show.
That's just one of the sad parts of life, murder or death. I kind of find it beautiful in a way.
That's very, I can kind of see that. It is part of life, certainly part of our lives, us mavens here. So
But
is this the first time this has happened on the show? Someone get murdered?
Are you surrounded by a lot of death?
Oh, yes. I mean, we've solved quite a few cases in our time
You've
here.
solved?
Well, the
Damn.
police are very incompetent and someone has to do it.
What is one of the last cases that you solved?
Oh, fantastic. And she'll just start describing our first session, the murder mystery and all of that stuff that happened. But I was just a little curious. It seems like not a lot of people had a lot of love for Paul here. Did you like him?
Why would you say that? He was a nice person. Yeah, he smiled very prettily.
Well, when my Bill died, we canceled the book club meeting. Just saying.
Oh,
And I didn't go into work that day.
You're talking about Heath still saying we should record.
Well, yeah, I mean, all of you really. Nobody batted an eye. I mean, like I said, I would have thought this wasn't your first murder on set.
I mean, the crew is very dedicated, and also if Heath says something has to happen a certain way, it just happens that way, honestly, on set. No murder has happened before, though, so... I mean, I guess it's all kind of new for most people.
I guess it's just show business, right? Roll with the punches.
I wouldn't know if it's show business to roll with these punches. I mean, it's my first gig like this, honestly. Super happy to have it, but I wouldn't know if it was showbiz.
I see. Well...
Did you just wanna... I mean, you can sit down and help me with my puzzle if you want. If you're just looking for some company. I get that
of course.
witnessing a death like this can be sad if you're not used to it.
Sure, or if you're human. But, and she sits down and she just immediately plugs in puzzle piece, puzzle piece, puzzle piece. She just starts doing it.
I mean, yeah, but again, there's something beautiful about as well, We're in the gardens as well. I'm sure that wherever Paul is now, he may be in a more peaceful version of these gardens.
Mm-hmm. Paul's still in his trailer, covered in flour and blood. That's where he is.
His body is, but I'm sure that his spirit has already left. To a better place, because, I mean, a lot of places are better than this.
I don't know.
The earth,
Brindlewood
I
Bay is
mean.
quite nice.
I mean, just being there. I'm sure that death gives better things than we get in life.
Well, I hope so. I hope so, Timmy. It would be real nice to know that my Bill is looking down on me somewhere happier, watching me and the ladies solve these cases. But
I'm sure.
I'm glad you're holding up well.
Sorry?
I'm glad you're doing okay.
I mean, I didn't really have as much of a connection really to Paul. Sadly enough, now that he's gone, I wish I did, but I don't have that much of a connection with him as some of the others. You know, again, as you said, showbiz. I haven't been in showbiz that long, and I couldn't build up the rivalries that were there with other people. It's a lot to take in. You have to really learn it, honestly.
You know, I'm a huge fan of the show, and I think you're wonderful on it, just to be honest. But what are you gonna do for this episode? Are you gonna mention the murder?
Oh, why would... I mean, I could make a joke about it, but I'm sure I should check that with Heath, actually. I don't think he wants to include it. I mean, if he wants to, I'm game, and I'll just do whatever he asks, but I
Oh,
don't
so you're
think
gonna
we'll include
CGI
it.
him in for the final challenge?
I don't know anything about CGI. I guess they could. I'm just a host, and I barely know anything about baking, being a host on this baking show, let alone know things about camera stuff.
Understood. Well, and she puts down a couple more pieces and finishes his puzzle. Well, it was so nice talking to you, dear. I hope you enjoy your time in here. She pulls open some of the blinds and lets some lights in. And then see you later.
Oh, he winces as the light hits him. Go ahead and give me a meddling roll with reason.
Nice. Well, I rolled badly. 7 with my +2.
7 with your +2. All right, got it. You finish a few of the puzzle pieces and pull up the curtains as you leave and wish him a pleasant time in here still. And as you do, and you walk out, the last little room that you pass as you go to the door of this trailer is a little toilet, basically. Little bathroom. And as you're making your way out, something catches your eye in there. And you pause for a second. You look in, stick your head in, and see, out of place in a bathroom, not out of place in this area in general and with the baking show, you see a cookbook there. You just take a little glance at it, and it's a cookbook that is written by both Jane and Paul together. What catches most of your attention, though, is the flower that's a little bit still sticking on there. Do you wait there to look at this book, or do you try to take it as you leave?
I try to take it.
Yeah. And you slip it in, and you take it with you as you close the door of the trailer. As you have it in your hands, you do see that there's a little bit of flour still on there. And funnily enough, you see that a few pages have been torn out, as in probably a recipe has been torn out. You actually would see that the recipe that was torn out, because in the beginning of the book there's like a section of what desserts are in here, and you see that it's a recipe for a what is it? Damn. I don't know if this has. I need to see if it has an English name or if it's Frangipan. Do you also say that in English?
Yes, yes.
There we go. You see, that's for a Frangipan pie. That the recipe is ripped out. It's one specifically also made by Paul.
Did anyone make this pie?
You didn't see it being presented.
Do I recognize the recipe? Is this a pie that I've had?
What do you mean? Is this a pie that you've had?
Is this? Well, I guess you know what. I don't know what the it doesn't matter. I don't know where I was going with that.
You basically. This is a clue. You basically found this cookbook that was by both Jane and Paul as authors, and you found a little bit of flour on it, and also the pieces, like the pages of this Frangipan pie.
Where did I find it exactly, though? In his trailer or outside of his trailer?
You just saw it in on the counter in like the little bathroom area in his trailer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You find this and you walk out with it. We zoom out a little bit, get a little bit of a bird's eye view as we see the four of you coming together from 4 different points to meet. Where would you meet?
I want to meet where the pies were being kept, where we went to go get the pies. I think we would go. I think we would go there and have some more pie as we're figuring out.
And for Rosemary's sake, this is a table that is set out together with the refreshments, where a few different pies have been set up, and clearly pieces have been taken out of it and eaten by people. As we see the 4 of you converging next to this pie table. Some of you hiding an item as best as you can in the purse or whatnot. The floor is yours.
Well, ladies, it's that
Maidens.
time again. Everybody get your notebooks out.
You see, Rosemary
job,
doesn't
Bob.
even flinch. Yeah, she doesn't write anything down on her notebook. It's all up here.
I think Janice is the only one that actually has a notebook. Everyone else is just like sitting there waiting.
I love that idea.
Oh, yes, quite. Don't step over there, though. It's a little wet. There was a little bit of an accident here earlier with Scott, poor fellow. Yes. Should we? Who's starting?
Well, I might as well start with the piece of evidence I just found. To me, it feels very significant. And she's gonna pull out the cookbook with the flour on it, and just flour.
Wow.
Found in Timothy's bathroom.
Timothy.
We're also on a baking show, Janice.
Yeah, but why
Good
would
point.
that boy need flour in a cookbook? He is a host.
That's true.
Oh, he was the host. Yeah, I was wondering who that was you were talking about.
And this page was ripped out. A recipe. I tell all of the details, but the page ripped out. Paul and Jane writing it, etc.
Weird bathroom material.
Was the apology searings? What was the pie called again?
Frangipan.
For this Frangipan pie, was this a specific recipe written by Paul? I know.
Yes.
God. Okay. Why would one tear pages out of a recipe book?
And also, to you, Rosemary, specifically, Frangipan pie is one of the best sellers in Paul's bakery shops as well.
Look, I spoke to Donna. I quite like the young woman. We had a grand time. She gave me a DVD of her season on.
And as she says that, Janice says the name of the show simultaneously because she watched the show.
The Home Wives of Liverpool? Is that what this is, Janice?
Real Housewives of Liverpool, please. Rosemary.
Real Housewives of Liverpool. Understood. She gave me a copy of the season. She also signed it, so I have her signature if we need to compare it to anything written. And also, I have a number of her manager now. We're quite good friends, I would say. We shared a cigarette.
Was there anything useful you got? I mean,
damn.
I mean, that's all great, Rosemary, but you might have murdered someone.
She's pushing the knife in a little deeper.
She did say her and Paul's relationship was coming to an end. It wasn't the best relationship.
Well,
but she did sign a prenup, but he did have life insurance, so they're still technically married.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the plane tickets.
Oh yes, the clue that you gave me. Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She also had 2 plane tickets to Aruba in Paul's name.
Oh.
In Paul's name?
They were both in Paul's name still.
Why did she have tickets for Paul?
That's a good question. Why did she have them? They were in her name, but she felt that he wasn't going to bring her.
You know, maybe she was not quite as honest with us about how she felt about their marriage. Maybe they weren't quite as
she was
freewheeling as
honest with that young boy, Buck. They've been sleeping together.
Mm-hmm.
Is everybody just sleeping with everybody on this show?
That's what it sounds like here.
My goodness.
I've only been here a couple hours, and it does seem that way, yes.
I heard you throw a bunch of scrambled eggs in a thing and mix, but geez, oh Pete.
I've been trying to draw some of these love triangles, and it's starting to look like a yarn ball.
Triangle, more like octagon. I don't know. That was a rough attempt.
If Donna was lying and she did not approve of Paul's relationship with the young man in the bow tie, and Paul had bought these tickets to go on a romantic getaway, I could see maybe her discovering about this relationship, getting upset, doing the deed, and then taking the tickets for herself.
Mm-mm. It's a
But
possibility.
that's only if we believe that she is as cold and callous as we first thought.
Well, I think we should gather all the facts, and I have something tasty. Or shall I say it's a royal treat, as it were?
Oh, Doris, what do you have?
Yeah, what is it?
Hold on to your britches, ladies, because we're going to Buckingham.
I only wear slacks. I don't wear breeches.
Fair enough, but as I pull into my blouse and it's way too deep down in there, and that's it. Got it. This, mine is a little wet. Sorry, it got a little drink on it.
Doris, why?
Mr. Miyagi.
Did you ever visit that doctor about your hyperhidrosis?
Yes, of course. You know that's why we don't have the 5th Maven anymore. Spitting in a callback.
I forgot that.
I thought it's because she was a smoker.
It was
'cause-
just she was a smoker, but
Yeah,
it doesn't
but,
matter.
You know, at this point, it's just a trope.
Your hair is
Next
falling
session,
off,
it's going to be a
Janice.
different reason that
Who
she
cares?
died.
Who
I'm
cares?
just saying, next session we do this, there's going to be a third. There's going to be a
Yeah.
different story for
Oh
Ash.
yeah, 100%, 100%. That's exactly what it is.
Sorry,
Losing your
sorry.
hair, Jen?
She died
Oh,
because
God.
of your over sweatiness.
No, silly.
She had the.
Let's focus, ladies. A man has been murdered.
A man has died.
Now,
All right,
I
so
think
these-
we're the only people that care, if I'm being quite honest.
fair enough. But
These-
I have a letter here.
Ooh.
This was given to almost the entire cast and crew, the regulars, like the hosts and the judges, and then like the core crew, an invitation to Buckingham Palace to dine. But there's a caveat. One member was going to be excluded. They didn't have enough seats at the table, as it were. I guess it was like a organizational malfunction or something. And someone is going to be left out. But I found it very interesting that Scott, of all people, would have the invitation on his person. But regardless, if you want to read it, here it is. It's not signed to any specific name, which I also found interesting. But yes, someone from the core crew and cast wasn't going to make it or be allowed to make it because they were at capacity.
And when were they going to Buckingham Palace?
Well, look at it, dearie. It says it right there. It's on like the third Friday of like the third month of the moon of whatever. I don't know. It's all fancy
Indeed.
schmancy things.
It's in the future, and it's for the plane tickets specifically. Just so you know, it's before the plane tickets still.
Got it. So they weren't going to.
Overlap.
Yes.
No, they aren't overlapping.
Hmm.
Interesting. What did you find, Janice?
Oh, I
The
already
cookbook.
the cookbook.
Oh, that's right.
With
I'm
the
sorry.
flour.
I meant Ruth. Sorry.
I ain't fine shit.
It's
Put
my
the wine
fourth
glass down, Rosemary.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Javier.
Apparently, she had a little extra.
Yes, Javier poured me a couple as he was doing my hair. I had to have one on the way
Gracious.
here. Ruth, what did you figure out?
It's 3:00 in the afternoon. I tried pouring over the footage with that young cameraman over there, but honestly, he was more chatty than the footage was. I confirmed that someone had grabbed a knife and done whatever they did with that oven, but I couldn't see who it was. But during that time, he done let it slip right out of his face that he had been sleeping with Paul's wife. I didn't even ask.
And also, Ruth, on the outtakes that you saw, you can confirm, however, that it was like a pie that was baked. In
Oh
this-
yeah, pie round. Yeah. Wait, so did they? Okay, let me compose
Okay,
my
but-
thoughts here.
But the
Go ahead,
last
go
thing you said was indeed now in your conversation. He did let it slip that.
Yeah. So someone had did someone bake a pie in that oven?
Yeah, so you actually
Okay.
saw, you couldn't see who it was, but you saw that there was actually someone putting what looked to be a pie into that oven.
Okay. Actually, what we did see, now that my memory serves me correctly,
And how much have you been
Someone.
drinking, Ruth?
a man has died.
And she
Exactly, I
ate
keep
pie
saying
right
that.
afterwards.
You know, when she doesn't have any salt water in the air, she gets forgetful. She needs to be by the
It's
sea.
hot.
It's high
Usually
tide
I've
that
had
you
a
get to the
siesta
point.
by now. Anyway, I remember on that footage, not just the kitchen knife being taken, but someone was baking a pie in that unoccupied oven. I do not know how that slipped me
Oh,
during
Ruth,
competition.
what kind of pie was it?
I
Was it a frangipane?
I've If I had to put the clues together,
I bet it was.
I wish I could go back to that oven and give that flour a lick so I could see if it was almond or not.
I mean, it's like 30 feet that
Yeah,
way.
we
if
could
you
we
want
could do
to.
that, Ruth. If you want to lick some flour, we can go lick some flour.
Okay, well, don't put it like that. Don't put it like that.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Don't
I'm
they
just
say
saying.
you shouldn't eat raw flour?
No. I mean, you shouldn't have spoonfuls of it, but it's just ground almonds.
Cinnamon,
I
on
thought-
the other hand, perfectly
I thought
fine to have
flour
spoonfuls
was
of.
wheat.
Flour can be made out of more than one item. Frangipane
Yes.
is made of almond flour. Goodness gracious.
There's
Starts
there's
watering.
wheat flour, there's almond flour, there's wheat flour, and almond flour.
As Ruth walks away to go look at the flour, I whisper in her ear. I go, "I'm on to you, Ruth. I know you watch this show."
just one of those like, I'm gonna go back and just give me one of those little.
You want to lick the flour that's on the oven?
I don't want to lick the flour that's on the oven. I want to take a finger and swoop and lick my finger.
She's
Just
doing the
was going-
Yeah, you
detective
wanna
thing where
lick-
she cuts open the brick of Coke and, you know,
Yeah.
gives it a little.
Very professional. And you taste no.
It's cocaine. Oh shit! This is getting deeper.
Because look,
There's a
baking
cartel
something now.
connection. We didn't know. Last minute.
Curveball.
It is Scarface.
No. Do you want to be tasting almond flour right now?
Oh, I do.
You're tasting almond flour.
Ooh.
Ladies, this is in fact almond flour. This is not wheat flour. Contrary to popular belief, you could have more than one.
Okay, what does that mean? I don't know the difference.
It means, ladies, we're about to hit the climax of this story.
Frangipane is made with almond flour.
Oh. So the meddling, they made it. We have the recipe book with the torn out page. That's the same recipe that was made. It is getting hot in here.
Flour on the book, flour on the station.
Doris, you're standing next to an active oven.
I'm gonna move over here. And you thought I was sweating because of a condition.
You look like it's both.
Sorry, Janice.
have-
Please continue.
Oh yes, Janice, please.
I think that was it.
And flour on the body. Come on now. It
yeah,
always
flour
comes in
flour on the
threes.
body. See, you're right. I had more to say. Thank you, Ruth. Flour on the body, flour on the station where the knife was missing from.
Now,
How did the flour get on Paul?
someone presumably probably stuffed his face with whatever pie they baked.
I agree.
Now, maybe this might be a bit too much, but should we taste the flour on Paul's body just to be sure?
I volunteer as tribute.
I think we can assume by
Lick
now.
that shit.
I was he was gonna fucking lick his body clean.
I'm ready. I was like I had 5 glasses of wine. I'm ready.
Okay. I have a theory. The young man that you spoke with, Janice, what was his name?
Timothy,
Timothy.
Timothée, if you're French.
Timothée. Well,
croissant.
Frangipane, Timothée. It fits. I'm building it in my mind right now. Paul and Timothée, they were intimate. Timothée's not. I mean, I've seen the young man. He's not my cup of tea, but he's obviously someone's. the book that Paul has written is given to Timotei, signed by Paul, a little love letter on his recipe. We've all done it from time to time, little poems, little love letters to our significant others, have we not?
Oh, you should see my scrapbook to Mr. Miyagi. That's all it is.
Please do not call your cat a lover, Doris. That's
Well, what
makes
would
me
he be?
uncomfortable.
A
Ladies,
loving companion.
anyway. Paul tells Timothy that he's not coming to Buckingham Palace. He doesn't quite fit the part.
Oh.
Would stand out.
Timothy, in his lover's rage, we've all seen the man. He is quite eccentric. What a way to make an ode to the lover that you're going to kill by making his pie. I saw he was playing around with some puzzles when I first arrived. Quite crafty, is he not?
Now, Timothy, just clarification. Timothy was not sleeping with Paul, right? That was...
Well,
We know.
we
don't
don't
know.
know.
Well,
We-
yeah, but that
there-
wasn't an
there's just a
established
rumor
fact.
that Paul
No,
is
yeah.
sleeping with
Oh,
someone.
okay.
Yeah, the established, we know Paul was sleeping with the bow tie, Scott.
Scott.
With
Yes.
Got it. Got it.
Correct.
Yeah.
But
I think the concept of they were kind of fluid all over and everyone on this show is having sex with one another.
I think that's probably right. I think we've determined that everybody's fucking everybody else on the show.
But please continue your juicy theory
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Paul tells Timothy that he's not coming to Buckingham Palace. Timothy, in an act of passion and rage, makes Paul's famous pie and kills him.
Hmm. I could see that. Maybe he went there asking for advice. He said, Paul, is this the right kind of flour? And he gives him the flour, and he puts a little poison in it, and Paul gives a little taste, just like Ruth did. And Bob's your uncle, he's on the floor bleeding out the mouth.
So the almond flour that Ruth just tasted was poisoned.
Well, I assumed he maybe added the flour afterwards so as to not, the flour that he wanted Paul to
look
test.
at me. And I just grab Ruth's face. Look at me. Are you seeing double? Are you getting hot? How's your eyes? Are you frothing from the mouth? I've experienced this before.
I can't answer all your questions at once.
Okay. Do you feel
Just
all
to be
right?
safe, let's induce vomiting, Ruth.
No.
Janice, you wouldn't have any activated charcoal on you now, would you?
Of course I do. Into her first aid kit. Pulls out.
Easy does it now. Easy does it.
Of course I do.
Okay.
No,
Now,
no one
I
has
kinda
licked
like-
the flour off of. No one has licked the flour off of Paul's body yet. Just saying.
I think
What
that'd
a
be a
shame.
bad idea now with our current theory that the flour that he had was
or it
poisoned.
or it would solidify the theory.
We would just
I
be
mean,
down
it
to
would-
3 mavens.
Maybe.
I think that that's very good, Rose. I think that you're onto something.
I think so.
I
too.
had an idea. I was thinking, okay, now, we're all here for the same reason, right? We just seem to always find ourselves in these kind of situations, and we're obviously the most qualified for this, but I was thinking of that, what was that? A New Night in New York, remember? You know how you're following the plot the entire time, but then you're driving in one direction, and then boom, similar to the red herring, but it was actually two separate plots going on at once. Now, I was thinking back to the comments that you made, Rosemary, about our dear poor Melanie. Melanie and her family who owned the bakery here in Brindlewood before Paul's fancy franchise, if you want to put a French spin on it, comes into town and wipes them out. Now, I was thinking to myself, now I find it interesting that she would be on this show, that they probably want to shy away from that if that was in fact the reason why, well, her parents in that bakery was run out of town, so to speak. Unless there was a connection there beforehand. What if Paul, who apparently no one seems to actually like, even though he seems to be very charming, I mean, everybody here hates him for whatever reason. What if Paul knew Melanie ahead of time? What if they were secretly having a relationship? And what if, hear me out, someone baked this pie? Maybe it was, in fact, Timothy, or maybe it was Melanie's recipe originally that Paul stole from her, utilized it, kicked them out, and twisted the knife by inviting her back to the very show in the very city in which he removed her. He needed to add a little something. Maybe he thought he could get her here to inspire a new recipe. After all, they were having some contract difficulties with negotiations. It sounds as if the show wasn't going to be renewed. Something had to come up. Something had to inspire, right? Now, I'm not saying that maybe she didn't kill him, but there might be something there. She has motive for revenge. And I will say, someone in her situation seemed sad when she approached. She was nervous, that's what it appeared like, but she was somewhat in shambles and tears, as if she had a very strong familiarity with Paul. It wasn't anger, right? Maybe it was just her trying to work up the courage to make that thing that would draw him back into her life, to show her to show him that she was important enough to him, right? So she put everything she had into that, but her oven was sabotaged. Maybe by another lover. Maybe by the wife. Maybe it was Timothy. Heck, maybe it was
Maybe
Scott.
it was all of them together. Honestly,
Maybe.
everybody's so intertwined here.
But think about this too. She was not given the best reception, and Paul was difficult. And I think Timothy may be our, in fact, murder, but I think she had a hand or a stab at it, literally. Think about it. A knife fell from the heavens. A scorned ex-lover, not giving the second chance she was hoping for. Small town girl in Brindlewood Bay. Eyes, stars in the skies of this beautiful Paul Revere. These magical nights that she had.
It's okay.
Oh, sorry. I just...
I know.
What a
Is there
scandalous
oven in here
proposition,
again?
though, Doris. This romance.
You were starting to scream, Doris.
Sorry. My bad. Okay, sorry. It's just the oven's still going.
Can you imagine,
I think you're having a hot flash now, though.
Yeah. It's
She's
kind of hot.
sweating a little bit.
But ladies, can you imagine, though? Melanie falls in love with the man that puts her parents out of business.
He made her a believer. She shared with him their secret family recipe. And then he took it from her, took everything from her. But she still believed that there was this love, that he couldn't be that bad because he's so charming. Small town girl, movie star, popular baker, chiseled abs, beautiful blue eyes, and apparently a really nice ass. So this was her chance to get back to bake that one great cake, that dessert, to get his love back and sabotage. So then she takes matters into her own hand, tapes the knife up above, and tries to have him injured, killed, murdered. I haven't seen her since then. She's been hiding. Maybe she's worried it's happened. She heard about the murder. Maybe she doesn't know that it wasn't actually her.
You know,
But
Doris.
I thought when we arrived... Yeah.
No, please.
Go ahead, Janice.
Well, there was something that stood out to me when you were previously talking about your theory that maybe the lovers colluded together. I mean, it could explain if Doris and someone else were planning the murder, maybe Doris and Timothy, right? Doris was in the room right after the body. It wasn't just us, right? The trap was placed after we go inside.
Donna, not Doris.
Oh, Donna. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, I was there.
You were in there, but
yeah.
Donna was in there checking on the body, right?
Mm.
We go in, you tamper with the tape. Maybe you messed up the string a little bit. Maybe it didn't go off as planned. Maybe it was just poorly designed. But Donna was supposed to come out of that trailer next. Why? How did they know? Because the killer was working together and they wanted to cover their tracks. If they kill Donna after Donna kills Paul, there's no more loose ends. No one to rat you out. You're scot-free.
Or, what if Doris, Janice, Melanie, and Timothy were going to take the 2 plane tickets when both of them were dead and flee the country? I don't know about Aruba's extradition laws, but if Donna wasn't killed by the falling knife,
It would make sense that they could be working together.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Aruba has extradition laws with the U.S. I remember in the novel Aruba, a murder.
Such an innovative novel, honestly. Groundbreaking. Changed the history of literature as we know it.
Aruba, a murder.
I mean, part of it was just the deliverance of that. Aruba, a murder. Oh my god.
Sounds like there's a question mark at the end of that.
Ugh.
Well, we have a lot of good theories, ladies, but what is the key that ties one of them together that makes it undeniable? Certainly a lot of people with motive here.
There's so much with motive, but the means and the access of being a host on the show and having a smoking gun that is a flour-covered cookbook with a pie and a knife missing from the same station a pie is baked at, excuse me. It would make sense that a host was able to slip unnoticed through the cameras. Why would they ever film a host without talking to a contestant?
Mm-hmm.
It's the perfect means. Also, him and those stringy long limbs are able to sling up a knife just fine.
I agree that I don't think Melanie could have done this without help. So I think we're pretty clear that a host has to be involved at the very least. A host.
Because she wouldn't have access. She wouldn't have access to any of this information without someone on the inside.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, Donna's not a host, but I think she counts. She would have had access.
Oh, you think Donna is complicit in the murder?
It was
Not
one of our
Timothy.
theories.
Mhm.
But I just wanted to make sure that we're not ruling her out. She would have been able to get backstage.
So would have Timothy as the
Yes.
host.
I think.
Which one did it?
I think if we're going to put it in there, I think it was Melanie and Timothy working together.
I agree.
I do as well.
Hmm.
Timothy talked
I
a lot
love
about
a
how
good
beautiful
twist.
death was. I just got to put that out there. It was a strange child, the way he talked about
Do
that.
you think both of them work together as lovers without knowing they were both lovers? Or absolutely knowing it?
I think they knew it. I think everybody knew what was going on around here. Maybe
Seems
it
so
wasn't
everybody knows and everyone's okay.
But I don't think necessarily that it was. I don't think necessarily that it was that it was just out in the open. Just, you know how these things get around.
Maybe it was a failsafe.
Doris,
Yes.
is that letter from Buckingham Palace, does it have a date on it? Was it received here at this event? Is it recent?
Well, according to the letter,
What do you want it to be?
I don't
what
know,
helps
Rose.
with
What do you
and
think?
your theory?
Oh, here, Rose.
Tell me
you
what-
take a look.
Yeah,
Oh.
tell me what we see on the invitation rose.
It's dated last week. What if they had to move up their schedule? Timothy got the information here at the event. This was long-term planned. He wasn't getting invited to Buckingham Palace. And if he was, like you said, if this show wasn't getting renewed and he wasn't being invited to Buckingham Palace, they had to do a rush job, hence the sloppiness. This could be the last time the public ever sees Timothy in his hosting duties. He's getting pushed out of the limelight. Him and Melanie think of a way to wrap things up, so to speak.
And then the knife?
Failsafe. If the poison or anything didn't take, who's the next one logically out of the trailer?
I thought you
Him.
did say that the knife wasn't there when you went in, though.
Or
It
was it?
set up.
I don't
Well,
know.
This is why I thought that
I
the
heard
other
a voice in my head said it was not set up.
Or did you not?
No.
Or did you not notice it?
Actually, I
Well,
think.
Ooh.
I
Bad
think
eyesight.
Maybe.
We're all
maybe,
women.
Maybe the knife was meant for me. Because Melanie is a local girl. She knows us. We've been to their shop before it closed. She knows of the Maven. She knows what we do. Maybe she saw me go in there with Janice and thought, if we go in there, we're going to ruin
Right.
everything.
We'll solve it, like we always do.
Oh my goodness.
You were almost
Mr.
murdered,
Miyagi, hold
Doris.
me. Oh,
Get this lady a seat.
Doris,
I'm
would you
gonna-
like a cigarette?
you know what? Title in your notebook, Janice? Backstab in Brindlewood Bay.
Backstab in Brindlewood. That's a great title, Doris.
I,
Butchering at the bake show. I could
Butchering
go
at the
on,
bake
but I'll
show.
stop.
No, please go on.
And no, she can't go on because as you say butchering at the big shop, and you say go on, you'll hear a voice call out, and it's Heath calling out for everyone to get back. We're going to continue shooting our last round. Cake round is going to happen. Everyone get in places. Get in places.
Did he
And
just
you all
snap?
have to go back to your baking islands.
Keith, I
For
am
the
not a
last
dog.
round.
Please do not snap at me.
No response. And if you want to or not, begrudgingly, you'll will all have to eventually make your way to your baking islands.
Who am I next to?
So, you are next to Ruth, who actually was supposed to be at your island now, but Ruth, you have to go back to your own island.
it's fine. Sugar burns off easily.
And I would love to know from all of you, as you are instructed to this time bake a cake, not a pie, what you make, or what you, or I won't say what you make, what you bring to the table, or what you pretend to make or make. So you all take a moment, and I would like to have a description of what this visually looks like a little bit as well. So, with that out of the way,
Give me 1 second. Does someone
Yeah.
have? So I have my character sheet, but I don't. I know what my move is, but I don't know what my move does. Does anyone have the?
What's your
Oh.
move's name?
I'm Arthur MacGyver. I'm gonna
think
he- Angus
MacGyver the shit
MacGyver?
out of this cake.
Yeah,
Angus
yeah.
MacGyver, yeah.
Yeah.
When you improvise in a situation using whatever is at hand, ask the other players and the keeper to name 3 objects you find in the environment. So long as you can give a plausible explanation for how these 3 objects together are helpful in the current situation, you get an automatic 12 plus on the single associated roll.
Wow.
You don't have to roll for this, but I'll definitely allow this move to be how you get a successful
Perfect.
cake.
Perfect. Ruth, what goes into a cake?
What goes into a cake, honey?
There's still almond flour here.
Flour, butter, and sugar.
Okay. Rosemary will run over to Doris. Doris, how do you make frosting?
I don't know.
Just point to something.
Oh, probably need some sprinkles and sugar and butter.
Sprinkles and sugar. Okay, and butter. Janice, last but not least, I need something to decorate the cake.
You want that activated charcoal?
I would. You think that would work?
If you want it. I mean, she pulls out her purse and she's just pulling nicks and like all first aid stuff, all these like random baubles and hard candies and things like that. What do you want?
The charcoal's a good touch.
Okay.
And Rosemary will take all of the ingredients and go back to her station.
The camera is following you as you do this, and Sue is also probably giving a little bit of comment, being like, "Oh, they're so helpful to each other here. Like, look at this team spirit. Even though it's a competition, they're all so willing to help each other out." As we see Rosemary scrambling from island to island, being like, "Quick, tell me what I need to put in my cake."
Remind me how this works.
Yes.
Quick, how do you make a cake?
Yep.
We've never seen this before in the competition.
Activated charcoal in the batter.
This is astounding.
You call for it as a decoration.
All right. I will then ask, Adam, what cake does Doris make?
Oh God. It is a like plain Jane like white cake with like really like frosting. Like it is like there's nothing like beautiful about it. It's just like
I love how you first said, Rose literally asked, "How do you make frosting?" And you said, "I don't know." But you were making frosting for your own cake.
Yeah. But it's like it's not good. It's like it's not great. As like she's like finishing it, and you see she's like kind of glancing down, and you see like Mr. Miyagi is just kind of like sitting underneath, and like head's just kind of poked out looking, and you can see a very like small ingredient list like in his mouth, just like looking up, and you can see a little like rose on the top. And he's just sitting there and just like I'm just glancing down trying to follow this like ingredients list.
And because you already said it's not the best, I like to believe that as we get little snapshots of you making this cake and time running out towards the end, you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm done. I'm finally done." And at that crucial moment, when it's already too late, Mr. Miyagi points with his paw on the table to where the sugar and the salt boxes were mixed by you. You and he just gives a little sad meow as well.
And just I just quickly like grab a piece of paper, and then like I fold it, and then I write on there title of cake, Salt by the Sea. And it just like places it down. It's artistic, right, Mr. Miyagi?
Such a good little helper.
James, what cake does Ruth bake?
Ruth bakes, because it's American themed.
Yeah.
Ruth will bake a carrot cake with no raisins, because that's how you ruin a cake. A nice cream cheese frosting base, and to decorate a lace of a nice little salted caramel sauce. Just kind of, beautifully piped with all of the extra time that she has.
Oh, I love that. I also love the image where when we get several different shots of you guys baking and this round continuing, that we get an image of Rosemary scrambling around to different tables. and then just shouts of Ruth very calmly as she comes up to ask her what ingredients goes into a cake. She's just already decorating very calmly and stuff, just whistling as well and being like, oh yeah, they are this and this and this. And she continues putting a little frosting on her carrot cake. Perfect. Bichon, what cake does Janice make?
Another one of Bill's recipes, but with a little twist on it. It's a spice cake, and she's decorating it with lots of this like green icing that's like pluming, like it's like making these like plumes. It's getting like bigger and bigger and falling off the side of the cake.
I just want to add something just because of for at one point while Janice is like working and like she like stops for a second and just starts to think, Mr. Miyagi like hops up on the table really quick and just knocks over like a little like canister of like spice that you had forgotten about and then hops down quickly and then like runs back to me.
There's something special about that cat, Doris. There's something special about that cat.
I've been saying, why couldn't you have done that for me earlier?
And Janice contemplates that for a second, and then gets back to finishing her cake. She makes her depiction is of, she calls it a chemtrail cake. It's a depiction of chemtrails, the icing coming off the side of the cake.
For the frogs.
The frogs.
Yeah, she's been way too non-conspiracy this episode. Indeed, she has to put a little bit in there.
Yeah. Well, it's just it's a spice cake, and the spice is chemicals. That's what it is.
My God. And then, Rosemary, what cake do you end up putting together with all of the double butter ingredients that others told you to put in it?
See her bring up this jet black cake. And she walks slowly to the table. She puts I call this Black Widow's Kiss. It is a simple sponge cake with melted and powderized activated charcoal, with a red wine reduction drizzled on top, and mahogany-colored sprinkles. Enjoy. And she puts a cigarette in the front, in the top, and lights it. The candle.
I think we have to take a moment to actually get into view everyone's reactions to this cake, as it's actually like astounding coming from this woman who said, I don't bake anything myself. And they put on this masterpiece. Okay, the cigarette is questionable, but other than the cigarette, it's this masterpiece of a fucking cake.
My favorite thing about the cigarette is that you can't really just light a cigarette, so she had to take a drag.
Oh, no. And then she put it in, and the fact she goes, the candle. Like, are you happy? It's got a candle. That's what you do with cakes, right? Like,
just what a diva. Just there we go. Put that.
I hope that cake doesn't mix with the chemtrails. it's just...
I should have done that for the chemtrails. That's so much better, Rosemary.
If you're wondering where I got the red wine, I brought it with me. And she opens her bag and you see she pulls out the bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. It works well as a reduction, and puts it back in.
Wow.
And she did that drunk.
So, I will then say that for the other two contestants, honestly, so in your theory right now, you included Melanie in there, right? With Timothy?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Then Scott brings up a coconut pound cake. It looks decent enough, but it's not super overwhelming. Melanie, because it technically also counts as a cake, because the inside is cake-like, brings out a frangipane. And I would love at this moment I'll leave it up to you. I want one of you to roll the theorize move for me, and I feel like it could go to either Doris or Rosemary, because you both put in like one of the suspects.
Which roll? I'm
Rosemary.
sorry.
Take it away.
Okay. You will roll and
I'm
add your Oh no, you will just how many clues did you end up using?
all
7,
of
so
them?
that would cancel. Yeah.
I don't think we used. I
No,
think we
8
almost all of
actually.
them.
Yeah,
We
almost
used
all of them. So 8. So you will roll, and then because you have 8 and this mystery has a 7 complexity, you can add a 1 to your roll.
Ooh.
So I rolled a 9 plus the 1. So
Okay.
10.
Then I think this is a nice moment as Melanie puts frangipane on there. If you want to have another moment, please go ahead. But I would like for you all to describe how you take down the culprits and how you save the day. If you want that to be right now, you can. If you don't, I'll describe what still happens in the episode, and we can then go to a moment where you actually do save the day.
Oh. Hello, Melanie. Interesting cake you have there.
What's that called again?
We're not supposed to be talking during the recording like this. It's supposed to be a moment where to judge taste it.
You
Okay,
mean
you're
judges.
You gonna tell on us?
It looks similar
she-
to Paul's recipe, does it not?
She looks at the camera as in like unsure if she should continue talking.
As these 4 old ladies like swarm in on.
Right. I love that there's a camera on us too while we're doing this.
I'm sitting behind, and then like not even hiding it anymore. Mr. Miyagi's just here, and I'm just petting, like just giving the dirty look, and I'm keeping an eye on Timothy. I'm watching Timothy like a hawk.
Yeah, the camera is indeed actually going into this, and she kind of feels uncertain. The cake is called a frangipane.
What kind of flour do you use in that cake?
Almond flour.
Oh, interesting. We found some almond flour
Yeah.
earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, you're lucky no one has an almond allergy.
I'm sure that's something the crew checks before we get to bake it. And I'm not sure that's on us.
Interesting.
Such a shame about Paul, though, right? And she looks at the camera.
Like a Jim Halpert, The Office, like...
Yeah.
Timothy chimes in and says, Heath, maybe we should actually get on with the episode and declaring the winner. I don't know where this conversation is going.
Heath, you should probably keep a camera on us, actually, though, just in case.
Yeah,
You're gonna want
it's
that.
about to get real hot in the kitchen.
Hotter than the ovens.
Yeah, because we're baking up a solution to what's happened here.
Solution?
Janice, the cookbook.
pulls it out.
When you pull out the cookbook, you see Melanie's eyes widen. Where did you get that?
You
where
never
did you get
mind
that?
that. We'll get to that in a second, dear. But what an interesting coincidence if I flip to page 67 and she pulls the book open. Oh, there's something missing here. A page is missing. That's strange, right?
That's so strange.
Very strange. What recipe was that? Let's look at the table of contents. Can you read that for me, Melanie?
Sure, yeah. It's a French pan.
A coincidence.
What a coincidence.
And who wrote that book?
I mean, why are you it feels like an interrogation here. I don't get.
That's because it is, sweetie.
Janice, who's the author
You're
of that cookbook?
for old ladies. If as anyone had to interrogate me, I'm sure that the sheriff will be coming by. I don't see the use in all of this.
He's already here as like the camera pans over and you see the sheriff. He's already like called them. And
He's eating a cake. He's eating a pie. Just like they got it.
The camera goes down, he's like, yeah.
So what is this about? You think I murdered Paul?
Wow. What a suggestion.
Don't react like that. You all don't react like you're all shocked. So what? You think I murdered Paul? Why would I murder Paul? I don't even know the guy.
Sweet.
Like, okay, I watched the show, but
Sensations. Wasn't that the name of your bakery?
Not my bakery, no.
Oh, but your family's.
You didn't meet him when he came to set up the new shop here? You didn't go around to the local businesses?
Paul's Pastries and Provisions.
I bet he gave you some provisions.
And Timothy chimes in there and says, "Okay, I think we really have had enough of this." Look, old lady.
Old lady. Meow! And Mr. Miyagi is going to leap at Timothy's face and just start slapping.
Mr. Miyagi
Defending
at
your
the
honor.
signal. We see him fly onto Timothy and indeed start scratching at his face. Timothy starts flailing and falls to the ground with his cat scratching up his face. With that, we see Melody begin to panic and she starts walking away. She starts running. She says, "I'm out of here." And she starts making way to start running away.
Sheriff,
Officers?
lock the doors, please, Sheriff.
Garçon.
It's a tent.
Everything here, my
Janice, there's
goodness.
no doors.
I just go to Mr. Miyagi, meow, and then Mr. Miyagi darts and like trips her up on her legs. She, like,
Oh, she runs in between her legs? Yeah.
As she's starting to run away, Mr. Miyagi just like does the little leg maneuver, and she goes ass over tea kettle. And like I think like as we like approach, like we like look, and then like they're like ripped and like crumpled like in her apron that's like fallen out. Oh, what do we have here? Would it be a recipe?
One of the officers has taken advantage of the fact that she was falling down and is kind of keeping her locked. That isn't mine. Someone surely put it there. It's fake. It's not mine.
Do you have any more ideas for this story, the title, Doris? I was thinking Whisked Away.
Ooh.
Pretty good. I like it.
Actually, Janice, as you say, "Oh, do you have an idea for the title Whisked Away?" and you're making a joke, you see something none of the others see also fall out of her apron. And you quickly pick it up before anyone can see it. It's a note. And no one else seemed to have noticed it, so you could quickly pick it up. And on there the words are written. He was in the way. Will you pick that up? You put it away before anyone can see it. This isn't mine. I swear, I'm innocent. And the officer picks up. We'll see about that when we interrogate you actually as well. I trust these ladies and their capabilities, and I think
Timothy
we're
too.
gonna take you in.
Timothy,
Yes, the little goth boy.
Don't forget the sad goth boy.
And we'll take in the Savgoth ward to see how he was involved as well. Officers go over.
Got the notes for you.
Officers go over to Timothy and also capture him and take him. I like to, funnily enough, imagine that they still try to film the end of this episode in a camera angle that doesn't show that another 2 people are missing now. The winner of the Bake-Off episode, though, is astoundingly enough Rosemary.
Yes.
Through her through her elegance and groundbreaking cake that she
Oh, wrong
put to
glasses.
the
I'm sorry,
table.
girls.
Jane goes to congratulate you. And you indeed do get the title of Best Baker in
Oh,
Brindlewood Bay
You're
from
too kind.
the show. Later on, we also we as audience get a little clip as we see people congratulating and cheering on Rosemary for winning the show. We see another clip a little bit in the past where we see Donna handing a few bills to Jane to bribe her as well to make Rosemary win.
Oh.
But no one else knows this.
That was bullshit.
Oh.
And instead, we fade out on the Melanie and Timothy being held until everyone is done wrapping up the episode, and we see Rosemary indeed winning like a special little apron that has a Jolly Good Baking Show printed on it, and she wins. People are congratulating you. We fade out of this scene, and instead of where the episode would usually end, the camera opens up again unexpectedly. We, in the distance, see the botanical gardens and the scene of the bake-off. But that's in the background. As we move back a little bit with the camera, we focus in instead on 2 hooded figures in a car driving away from this scene. And we can't make out their faces because they are blocked by just a white stone flat mask. And we hear one of them speak up. Should get her on our trail. They should. And then she'll follow her husband. Soon. They nod. The car drives away from the botanical gardens. And our camera pans away out of the television screen where we see "To be continued" letters with a question mark appearing at the end on a black screen. As we wrap up our session of Brindlewood Bay.
Woo!
Thank you, everyone.
I want to do one last thing.
Yeah.
It says "to be continued" question, but then it cuts back into the TV, and you see the 4 mavens at book club. And Rosemary comes in about 45 minutes late. It starts at 9 a.m. She shows up at 9:45. And she sits down and she goes, I just want to thank you. I couldn't have won without your help. And so she goes in her tote and she pulls out exact replicas of the aprons that she was given. And she has one for each of you. I did have to contact Donna's manager, and these weren't cheap, so make sure you make use of them.
Rosemary.
It is impossibly difficult to stay mad at you, Rosemary.
I knew
I
you
know,
had a
but-
heart.
I look at Rosemary, and then I look at Mr. Miyagi, and then I look back, hopeful. Did you get one from Mr. Miyagi?
Oh, please, did you get one from Mr.
She reaches in and she pulls out a small little apron, and it says, "The best cat baker in Brindlewood Bay."
Rose, I can't stay mad at you either.
But yeah, through all of this, she doesn't like break her like demeanor. She's just very stoic and serious.
We're gonna add this to your wardrobe, but I immediately put it on first.
And then it pans out. And then it pans
all
out of the TV.
Mavens. Yeah, we see all of the mavens putting on their aprons as the view once again pans out, and now it actually goes to a black screen. I love that addition.
Son of a bitch.
Thank you, everyone.
Brindlewood Bay.
Great fucking job on this mystery. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it a whole lot. Thank you for being at the Bake-Off. And let's do a little round of actually saying who were you and who did you have the pleasure of playing today and last week for some of you. Starting with Adam.
Oh, hello. Hi. I'm Arcane Adam, and you can mostly catch me here doing streams on Magic RPG or over Captain Robert, where we have like a 2-year-long campaign that's wrapping up here soon. And yeah, I got to play Doris, the lovely cat lover, scrapbooker, that gets way too excited about things and is a little bit chaotic probably for the group. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal. I loved every bit of it, and I cannot wait for our next game.
James.
I'm James. I'm JT Cunning on the internet. Here you'll find me playing ladies. If you find me anywhere else on the internet, it's sports. I played Ruth, who is very akin to a lot of elderly women I've met in my life, and an homage to their bitterness, their hardiness, and their sweetness. And I'd love to continue that homage again. God, so great.
Bijan.
I'm Uselbard, played Janice, the resident conspiracy theorist, trying to discover what happened to her long lost, well, not that long, but lost husband, Bill. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Gone but not forgotten.
And then Chris.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Chris Stormbeard. I am currently GMing the Warhammer Wrath and Glory game on Fridays here on Magic RPG, so you can find me there. And I play Rosemary, the rich Martha's Vineyard socialite here as part of the Mavens. She is the Angus MacGyver kind of antique roadshow loving, just rich white woman who loves wine.
And I had the pleasure of being these people's lovely GM. I'm Syrinx. You can find me on all the socials under that name for more actual play stuff. And I loved being here again with all of you. I'm looking forward to the next time that we'll be together, which will definitely happen. And until then, thank you everyone for sticking by, dearies. We hope you baked a good cake, solved a good murder. And until then, we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.